made their way out in the middle, a bit of miserly rain and what's not the greatest day for footy, but I think we're just happy to have it back. I know there's been some issues, of course, with the AFL where there's a game in Perth tonight. They won't be able to play with a crowd. I think maybe a bit of an overreaction, but we've just got to be seen to be doing the right thing, but things are okay here. But I do worry, Chris, that we will lose a game at some time during the season. I am petrified about that, especially when winter hits in the next couple of months. But at the moment, let's just hope you get as many people to the footy as possible. I know all the girls have run out of the chicken and salad rolls and ham rolls, which is great for them, which indicates that people are buying, putting money over the canteen. They'll put money in the bar later on, and that's what you want at footy clubs, especially the local footy clubs.
Well, the first 2 or 3 rounds that we've seen through, the crowds have been unbelievable. I haven't seen crowds like this for 15, 20 years to have people in and out like they have been. It's been fantastic. I just did have a YC burger, which was phenomenal.
Yeah, I've just had one. I'm halfway through mine.
Probably rated an 8 out of 10. I've probably got Bomb Beach just on top in terms of burger steaks.
I haven't had a Bomb Beach burger yet.
Oh, they are priceless.
Are they?
Yeah, they're worth every dollar.
Now, there's going to be some big matchups today.
There is.
Khan Haratuku, where will he play? You would expect him to play forward and change with Pryor, who's been in just scintillating form. He might be, I know it's only 2 rounds in, he might be one of the favourites to win the medal the way he's going. Averaging 33 hit-outs a game, 19 possessions last week, kicked 5 goals over the 2 games so far. So he may start forward and Haratuku in the ruck, or it might be the other way round. Who will get him? Will it be Credlin? Will it be someone like Barry, who always plays, obviously, out of his depth, but he's so good, isn't he, defensively?
Yeah, they are, but those guys are too small. Credlin might be okay, 6'3", running off, but Khan is he's a different beast. That's where probably Franks and Bombers might have a slight advantage today in the terms of those two. But as we say that, the rain's sort of starting to dribble down here. The biggest thing that I can see is that we've got a full deck. Like, we've had some soft tissues injuries hit the MPNFL pretty hard, but what we've got at the moment is Frankston the last week got back in Amalfi, Harnett, Drake. They get back in Boswell today. They've got another kid back from Stingrays. And YC, on the other hand, they didn't have Credlin or LaFontaine last week, which they're back in the side. So there's no sort of excuses of we're missing this guy, we're missing that guy. Yes, maybe a couple might be a little underdone, but yeah, looking forward to a full deck from each side.
Well, they're having all sorts of issues here, aren't we, with the headphones at the moment? But we'll try and get them right as the day goes on. Tom's just out in the middle trying to organise the pre-match. But they've got a young kid today called Daniel Didman Cantonio. I've worked very hard on that. Now, he's the vice-captain of the Stingrays. They've played 3 games so far. They've been impressed with what he's done. It's his, as I say, first game. There was a jumper presentation. Bo Muston allowed me in there for that, and his dad's there as well. He's come from the Frankston Dolphins, and he'll be a handy addition to their side today. Good ball user. He's not tall. There's a bit of Caleb Daniel about him. If he can use the footy half as well as Caleb Daniel and be the decision maker that Caleb Daniel is in the AFL, I think he's just arguably the best decision maker in the comp. He'll be a very handy addition to this side today. But if you look at them on paper, they seem to be a stronger team talent-wise than YCW, but we know that YCW have got a great winning culture. New coach under Paul Goonan, and they play pretty well together. And talking of Paul Goonan, Luca Goonan is a very handy person to have in the team today, despite the fact he did well for Casey Demons last week with 20 possessions. I thought he would have been in that side, but he was a late inclusion in the YCW team today. And, of course, he's come from Mount Eliza along with the defensive midfielder Brenton Lambert. So they picked up a couple of pretty good players, YCW.
Yeah, Lambert can play anywhere. He is a very good player forward or back, so he's a huge addition. I like both sides. Like you said, YC are really well drilled. They have been for years and years. Bombers have had the list, but they've got to put it together, which is Bo's job at the moment, to try and mould them into a side that's going to play consistent football. So we've all got these expectations, and it might just take them 2, 3, 4 weeks to start to gel.
Have they got 2, 3, 4 weeks, though?
Yeah, I think you do. Probably. Look, they're going to have tough game every week because it's Division 1. But I just feel that you sneak into that finals bracket at the end of the year, hopefully get your top 3 so you get a double chance.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of time for that. So look, a loss to either side today is not going to be the be-all and end-all, but probably more so it's going to be a reflection of where the Bombers are at and how hard they're going to have to push.
Schmidt and also Pryor in the ruck will be crucial as we've got some planes flying above as part of the ceremony. Let's pause now for our ceremony.
No, it's my microphone. It's not on. Yep. Yeah, that's it, mate. Beautiful. I had a lot of good dialogue then too, Dan, and you probably missed half it.
We'll come back to it, Chris.
No, that's all right.
Just wait for the planes to come across again. As part of the Anzac Day ceremony. Here's Andrew Schneider. John Barry, the Vice President of Frankston RSL, father of Byron. Time for the national anthem now. Excellent rendition of the national anthem from one of the Stone Cats netball players. Well done. Andrew Schneider, the president of the Stone Cats. We've had a little bit of water get in our system. Chris Holcomb, you're back with us. We're looking forward to a big game of footy. It's a huge day, Anzac Day, huge weekend. We have to remember and thank the efforts of all our servicemen, whether it be the First World War, the Second World War, the Vietnam War, the Afghanistan War. To me, it's nonsensical that any of them were involved in it, but we thank them very much for being involved in it, having read up a lot about it over the years. As the mighty Reese walks past us after his Bombers had a win today in the reserves, and it is starting to pour, which means that it might be a good day for the little blokes on the ground. But you've played a lot of Anzac Day matches over the years. Does it feel different?
It does, actually, because we used to play them against Mount Eliza all the time, and our hatred of Mount Eliza was pure. That was the case. It's always
like being against another country almost.
Well, it is a little bit like that, not to that extreme. But Bombers and YC have a history of obviously being close together. They've been rivals for a long time. I mean, Bombers have just been up into Division 1 probably the last 5 or 6 years, and so that rivalry's built. But this rain coming down early, obviously it's not going to help Hiratuku much down forward, which would be advantage to YC. But the more the rain comes down, the more crucial that midfield battle's going to be, and we've got two of the most top-line midfields in the comp running around at the moment.
Well, you're right. I mean, do you put a tag on Mullane?
Yeah, definitely.
His efficiency is not great, 54%. He could probably improve on that, but he's still getting the footy 33 times in both matches so far.
100% you tag Blake Mullane. I think...
Who with?
I don't know who'll go to him first. If it was me, it'd be Kingsbury, but I think they'll let Kingsbury run free early, and then if he's managed to break the first initial tag, I think Kinger will go to him.
Yep.
But their midfield runs pretty deep, YC, but the same in the other way with Foxy. I mean, if I was YC, I'd be looking at Fox being the most damaging midfielder with ball in hand.
So who do you put on there? Angwin, someone like that?
Yeah, maybe.
Hoorah?
Yeah, one of those two, I'd say. But probably Bombers have... Harnett's only had one game back, so he's going to be better for that run.
Yep.
So then you got Sutz, who had an ordinary game first up, but he's had a good game second up.
Yeah, 31 last week.
It just sees how much weight you pay on how they played Edith Vale last week, because Edith Vale are not that strong. So this is going to be a true indication of where they're at. And look, a lot of times in the rain, Dan, the better side wins. The team with better skills would often win in the rain because they can handle the ball a lot better.
Yes. Well, there's Kingsbury there, of course, very solidly built. Jared Grant, where would you play him? Half forward, wing? Well, we know he's talented. I think that Jared's big issue is he's just not consistent enough, and that's always been the knock on him at AFL level. I was telling you earlier, he kicked 3 goals in the wet against Adelaide one day in 2010 when he had a good year at the feet of Barry Hall and won a game, and they were all just kicks around the corner, and they were magnificent goals. And they won the game for them. Well, that's just the sort of player he is.
Well, that's the thing. If Hiratuku can drag 2 to him and same... Because, look, the forward line that Bombers have, you see last week with Bucks popping up for 6 or 7 that he kicked. If Hiratuku can draw 2, then it brings everyone else in. You play your second defender on bucks, and then do you put someone to granny? Like, how much do you get? How much attention do you pay him?
Yeah.
But if he can bring the ball to ground, that's going to be a huge advantage for the Bombers. Kobe Villas is another one who gets in and under.
He does.
Yeah, very dangerous around goal. So, yeah, looking forward to what they can bring.
Who do you put on Troutbeck? We don't know a great deal about him yet. He's come from Bentley in the Southern Footy League.
Yeah.
Kicked 5 last week, 2 the week before. He's the full forward for YCW. Do you start a Drake down there? Do you start Hickus, who of course has come from YCW, won the under-19 league best and fairest when he was at YCW, a very strong under-19 breeding ground, someone like that?
Yeah, well, they like to play Drakey a bit higher, so if Troutbeck goes deep, I'd expect Drakey to be further up across that half-back line. So, yeah, it's going to be sort of a look and see early on of what those matchups are going to be.
Mark Slogan was named as the fullback in the team of the year in 2019. He's better as a rebounding halfback flanker, isn't he? We know he's an excellent player.
Yeah, Cappy doesn't know what he's talking about. He needs to go and watch more footy. He's never played fullback in his life.
Well, he can't be here today because he's granddad to 4 kids. I said, what are you doing this morning, Cappy? He said, I'm going dancing.
Oh.
I said, I'm dropping my granddaughter off at dancing. I loved it when I could just see Wayne Cat with his granddaughter in that ute of his, that big ute getting in there. Okay, darling, we'll go dancing. Cappy, if you're listening, good afternoon. It is wet here at your favourite ground, John Coburn Oval. It's a good crowd, lots of people around. The netball courts over the back packed as well, and we're looking forward to a good game of footy. LaFontaine will play forward or midfield?
Yeah, that's an interesting one because Laffa's probably one of the best midfielders going around at the moment, but I know that the coach has been throwing him forward, back, midfield, so he's been used in a lot of different places. One thing you can get with Laffa is just going to be work rate, so wherever he is, expect him on all parts of the ground.
Well, Goonan's in the team. I did mention earlier the Casey Demons. He did pretty well last week, 20 possessions, and then it looked like he was missing, and then he was added yesterday to the team when Casey Demons couldn't find a spot for him, which to me is surprising if he had 20 possessions last week, but... Look, what's someone's goose is another team's gander. So good luck to the YCW team because they find a spot for him. He's a tallish midfielder, so he'll be very handy in that role today.
I'm looking forward to seeing him play because I haven't actually seen him play live before. So
no, nor have I.
The raps on him are huge from the YC boys, but anything coming out of YC is usually a big rap. They're not short on patting each other on the back, are they?
No, they're not. Don't throw me under the bus, please. I'm still getting to know everyone. They've all been fantastic to me this week. But, I mean, they did dominate the Mornington competition. But since the first division got underway, they haven't been as dominant.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? And we know their defence is great. We know Lilac plays above his weight. We know that Barry plays above his weight. Ongarello, who's injured at the moment, might nearly be near the end, but I won't rule him out yet, the great man. He plays above his weight, and that's why they're under Wayne Cat. They were fantastic because they'd struggle to score, but they'd stay in games because that defence was miserly. So, again, it might have to be today. It'll be a good contest. They know this ground pretty well. I mean, Bombers have played here a bit in the last couple of years, as you mentioned, Hulks, but whether they're able to cope with the ground like YC can remains to be seen.
Well, I'll tell you why they've probably struggled and they do it better than most teams. It's when you have to rejuvenate your list. So from back when they won their flags, back when I was coaching Mornington and they ran through, I reckon there's 4 players left. Now, that's a huge turnover in 4 or 5 years of football.
Well,
so
Hutchison's one of them.
Hutcho, Byron Barry, Kev Lilac, Lockie Wallace, they're probably the only ones that are through. And then you've got all the young kids coming up. So it's hard to rejuvenate your list, and they've never been a side that's gone out and poached big, high-money recruits. They've had a strong seconds and thirds, so they've always promoted from there. So they've always been competitive. They're always playing finals. It's just they haven't got that ultimate glory for a little bit yet. So they'll be itching to do that this year.
Now, naming rights sponsor for the first time this year. Wonderful to have them on board. O'Brien Real Estate, our scoreboard sponsor, will be Great Syndicates Australia. Get in touch with Tim and the team to increase your wealth and reduce your mortgage and debt. Our goal of the day, game changer. So Chris will keep an eye on that. Mark of the day, HP and CP Electrical. Best on ground, Franks and RSL. And if you head down there, you can even, if you're not at the footy today, it's just around the corner, of course. You can watch the game on the big screen as you can every week. One of the GameFace's matches of the day in the MP NFL and around the grounds. And there's some big games thanks to Frankie Photography. So we look forward to that. There is one first gamer in the team today for the Bombers, and it's Daniel Didman Cantonio. I might just call him Dids because he'll get a hand pass out, and by the time I've got through his name, there'll be 3 or 4 possessions.
Well, here we go with those matchups now, mate, to see where they're all going to.
Yep.
Where have we got? It's down here.
Got to remember that they're different jumpers because they're wearing Anzac Day strips. So we're underway. Schmidt will do the ruck work. He's a big lump of a lad. He goes up and Pryor wins it down. Straight away there's a free kick, and Mullane will get a free kick. And he delivers in short, but he turns it over straight away to Sutton. Had 31 possessions last week. They're heading towards the Frankston end. He kicks to centre half forward, and that's an excellent mark to the big fellow. Haratuku wearing the pink boots. He gets the hand pass out wide now. Taken by Harnett. Harnett drives the Bombers long. Grant at the back waiting for it. Knocked to ground. In front. 40 metres out from the goal. They're attacking just near the scoreboard. The Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. No scores yet. You can see how clever Jared Grant was then. That little nudge in the side, hoping that the ball might spill to the back.
Yeah, and Pickness has gone to Mullane. It's hard tag there. And you saw that first possession that they had, holding the man, so he's very, very conscious of him.
He will be. And a number of players mill around the footy from the ruck contest. It'll be thrown up inside attacking 50 at the Frankston end of the ground. The Bombers into attack straight away. Tap down. On hands and knees, it's tapped out by Lilac, but going the other way, hurried kick comes in from Fox. Fox kicks the Bombers towards Grant. Grant gets shoved off it from the side. Should almost be a free kick to go the way of the Stone Cats. It's taken by LaFontaine. He has to head backwards. He's hemmed in, and he's able to find a target, and taking a mark is Luke Black. Luke Black in short to the outer back pocket to his cousin in Briggs. Briggs on the outer side of the ground for the Stone Cats. Delivers in short and finds a teammate in Lilac. Lilac looking to draw the man. Looks to take an opponent on. He does. He gets himself into all sorts of trouble. Gets the hand pass on the outside to Barry. Barry delivers the Stone Cats to the outer side of the ground. Big Schmidt rows it well for a big man. Kicks them high. Inside 50 to the Melbourne City end of the ground. Loose ball. LaFontaine will pick it up now. Gets a Shepherd. Then gets the kick smothered. Ricochets over the top. Good play by Drake. Greeley gets a hand pass out. Drake on hands and knees. Under pressure. 40 metres out from the goal. The Bombers are defending. They win it back again, the Stone Cats. Hurried shot at goal now. Left foot kick. High ball. Up and under from Steele. Almost a mark taken by the Stone Cats. Close to the line. Handball comes out. Hurried shot through for a behind. First score, and the handball came out on that occasion from Troutbeck. But the shot at goal, as the player was tucked in the left forward pocket, misses to the left-hand side. 1 behind to nothing on the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. And our coverage today, thanks to O'Brien's Real Estate.
They were lucky then, Dan, because you saw LaFontaine get this possession down in the back pocket. Who was the guy who was lining up at a 2-on-1 down in their forward line? It was LaFontaine again.
It was. Amalfi in the long sleeves heads to the half-back line on the social club room side of the ground. Handball comes out from the big fella Haratuku, taken by Fox. Feeds a hand pass on the outside now to Kingsbury. Kicks down the line looking for Grant. Can't take it cleanly in front of the social club rooms. It'll be thrown back into play. My personal thanks to Jared Grant. I've had a tough old week this week, and he reached out for me. Old Spindles, he's a fantastic fellow. We know he's had a tough time losing a close friend in the off-season. Boundary throw-in. Back into play, almost on the wing, prior to the front, who's having a great season. Taps it down. Pickus is there, lost control of it. Hurry kick comes out from Hutchison, delivers his team inside 50, but they've got numbers at the back. Good play by the Bombers on this occasion to drive it long. And this is Dids. Dids kicks towards the wing. Off hands now to Harnett. Harnett already with his hair wet, kicks towards half forward, but it's cut off at half back by Briggs for the Stone Cats. In fact, there's a free kick going back. Thanks, Chris. I missed that one at half back behind the play.
Yeah, Harnett getting involved early, couple of touches. That midfield battle is just going to be crucial all day, and Pickness will not leave Mullane alone at the moment.
It's a good move. In short to Greeley, the veteran. Greeley just behind the wing will drive the Bombers long. They trail by a point. Harnett up. No one can take the mark. Off hands. Also trying to take it was Buchan. Ball's at ground level at the back. Little hand pass comes out from the Stone Cats. Under immense pressure was Lambert on that occasion. The boy from Mount Eliza. Another hand pass comes out wide. Good tackling by the Bombers, and Luke Black has the ball spilling over the line inside defensive 50-30 around from the goal that they are defending at the Frankston end. 1 behind to nothing. Not far away from the Frankston Bombers dugout. Bo Muston played 13 games at the Hawks, calling out, issuing instructions. He's got a cracked rib at the moment, so not playing. Boundary throw in. Schmidt taps to the front of the pack. They've got numbers at ground level. There's Barry. Gets the hand pass out. Hard on the boundary. High kick close to the boundary. Should be a mark. And a comfortable mark taken on this occasion by Harry Pryor. Pryor goes inside. Nice kick he finds Drake. Drake takes the mark behind the wing. Looking to drive his team long. Kicks towards the half-forward line. Big pack forming, waiting at the back. It almost fell on the lap of the big fella Herituku, and then he gets beset upon by would-be tacklers, among them Briggs and his cousin Black.
I like their intensity at the moment, the Bombers.
Yeah, the Bombers are 1 point down at the moment. Prior to tap it straight to LaFontaine. LaFontaine kicks the Stone Cats. Only as far as Pryor. It takes the mark at half-back. He plays on quickly, getting a lot of it early on his non-preferred left. Plenty of distance on the kick. Inside 50. Whacked down again by Lilac. Good hand pass by Harnett. Good play Pickers as he rolls it along the turf cleverly inside 50. Barry, though, attacks it hard. Wobbles a kick into vacant territory on the outer side. He says, go and get that, boys. On the outer side of the ground, it will be picked up, though, by Sutton of the Bombers. He delivers back inside 50 and intercepting. That should be a mark to Goonan. The umpire didn't pay the mark, should get a free kick.
No, he's giving it to Harnett.
Oh, you're joking.
Retaliation, mate. He grabbed him.
I thought he took the mark, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a little bit stiff, but that's why, and he grabbed him after.
He got the hand pass to Lambert. Harnett, free kick, attacking side of the wing. Didn't play round one, but played last week. Drives it long. Inside 50, looking for someone to mark. No one can. Ball's at ground level. Jared Grant soccers it sort of accidentally. Close to the boundary and out of bounds, right beside the behind post at the Frankston end. 1 behind YCW. The Bombers yet to score, and that's the score on the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. With me, the great Chris Holcomb.
Yeah, YC just want to be careful kicking out of their back line. They're going long, and Harry Pryor's sitting down the line. He's already had a couple of marks and punched it back into 50 for him.
Boundary throwing. No one can get a clean possession. A lot of players milling around the contest. Big Herituku, you can pick him out there with those pink boots. He's also a big man. It spills out to him. The umpire said they might be holding the ball or throw against the Bombers. And the free kick will go to Hutchison. Hutchison switching.
LaFontaine again.
LaFontaine marks at half-back. Takes the mark. Front of our commentary position, then gets the kick magnificently smothered by Kingsbury. Goes close to the boundary, picked up by Amalfi. Sweeps the hand pass inside. Fox does well to shrug off a tackle. Tried to find Greeley. Free kick, I think, but picked up by Sutton. The umpire said, play on! That's a goal. And the first goal of the match might be one of the goals of the day, thanks to Game Changer. Dale Sutton kicks a terrific goal, and his team, the Bombers, 1 straight 6. YCW 1 behind, opening 8 minutes on the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard.
The best thing we talked about a couple of minutes ago, Frankston's intensity at the moment is fantastic. So when they've got the ball forward, you can see the intensity of Kingsbury on the mark to do that smother. Then the attack of Fox coming through and how hard he hit that ball. And then obviously the finish of Suts through. It was a really hard-working goal, which is what you need on a day like today.
Lots of changes. Kobe Villas off, Jared Grant off, and he's kicked the goal and Dale Sutton goes off. Tapped down in the middle of the ground, trying to burst his way through. It's got to be holding the ball against Mullane. Tried to take them on. He had teammates nearby. Harnett with the free kick. Drives them long inside 50. Herituku from behind. Buchan attacks it hard. Picks up the loose ball. Handballs to Fox. Tries the... Don't argue, gets it back towards Buchan. Then it's socket off the ground by the Bombers. Trying to burst his way through as Briggs beats 1, beats 2, and then slips over. Hutchison's there, gets impeded. Left foot kick comes out. High ball by the Stone Cats towards half forward. At the back, Drake taken down on a tackle. They're under immense pressure.
Well done.
Ball's picked up under also pressure was young Newton. Did well to get a hand pass out despite being under the pump. And then it goes towards the boundary before Dids could get there, the first gamer, who's the vice-captain of the Stingrays, and it's a boundary throw-in at half-back.
Yeah, that was impressive.
It was. Newton was under immense pressure. Shrugged himself out of 4 or 5 tackles then, Holtz. Tapped down by Pryor, who's having a big influence so far. Picked up, though, on this occasion by the Stone Cats. They go back, And a good mark taken on this occasion by Jake Millwood. Millwood in short again. Finds his teammate Mazarek, who had 6 inside 50s last week. Another hand pass at close quarters to Millwood. Kicks the centre half forward, but their defence holding up nicely at the moment. And a solid mark taken by Kingsbury at centre half back for the Bombers. Kicks straight down the middle of the ground, looking for someone to mark. Oh, that's a terrific mark by Haratuku, having an influence with the wet ball. And the pink boots marking in the middle of the ground. His team up by 5 points. He's in short now. And Pickus picks it up on the half volley. He does well to handball back now to Haratuku. Haratuku confronted. Feeds a hand pass over the top to Pryor. Pryor nearly slips in the centre wicket area. He skids a kick to half forward. But clearing out of defence, the Stone Cats, they do well through Briggs. But he turns it over once again. And Haratuku takes the mark. So Haratuku and Pryor kick behind the play at the moment, Hulks.
He's had to hold it up because YC got too many numbers into their defensive 50. So Frankston have got to realise this and push hard into that forward line. They've got no options.
Handball by Mullane as the ball dropped to the back. Didn't find a target. And it's 1 behind to 1 straight 6 with the Bombers in front on the Grove Syndicates Australia scoreboard.
So when Khan looked up, there was a 5-on-2, but there was no Frankston Bombers pushed into that forward 50. They've got to really get on their bike to get that option.
Boundary throw-in, tapped down by Pryor again. Socket away by Barry. He couldn't quite find a handle on it. Sockets towards the boundary. Little hand pass comes out. Trying to get a little kick through traffic. Successful as Mazarek for the Stone Cats. They're on the fly now through Hutchison. Hutchison kicks to half forward, and that's an excellent mark on the skid by Troutbeck at half forward. Kicks to an open forward line for the Stone Cats. Getting back, it's knocked to ground before Credlin can take the mark. Kid. They've got numbers there, left, right and centre, and there's a player brought down, I think, in a tackle laid on him by Gregory.
Newton again.
Newton, who's been hard as a cat's head so far, takes the free kick in the back pocket for the Bombers and he spreads it wide. Now bring it out towards the broadcast side of the ground. A squaring little ball, finds a teammate and taking the mark on this occasion is Dids at half back. The first gamer, he's been good so far. He's in short, he looks as short, finds Greeley, the veteran, still just outside defensive 50, defending at the Frankston end of the ground. Sorry, the City end of the ground. He spiral punts a kick into the middle, terrible kick. Shinning it away is LaFontaine for the Stone Cats. Ball's in the middle of the ground, the handball comes out to LaFontaine. Good tackling, Greeley. Gets it back inside, attacking 50. Oh, Hutchison, tough, hard, magnificent, maniacal. Did well to get the hand pass out. Picked up now, hard on the boundary. Left foot, snap, close to the goal line. And a good attempt to snap at goal by Brenton Credlin. Yep. Just getting back in time. The Bombers, the second behind on the board for the Stone Cats. 2 behinds to 1 straight 6. As Drake got back in time and kicks it back into play, into the back pocket, and he finds Dids.
That was Lockie Wallace who hit that contest that hard.
He's under pressure. High ball towards the wing, looking for Buchan. But fisting it away and putting it over the boundary. It's a good contest so far. These bodies are flying in, aren't they? That was Lambert, who's been a great pickup from Mount Eliza for YCW. Throwing again. Pryor taps to the front of the pack. Bursting through, handball on the outside. Mullane gets a hand pass out again. Wallace, a chance to snap at goal. Kicks across the face, a high kick. It is 2 on 1, and that is an outstanding mark. Is that nearly to Troutbeck? Or is there an opponent that might have taken that in young Chase Harris?
Not paid.
Not paid. Both players had plenty of it. Chase Harris playing for the Bombers. Tap down. Haratuku, he and Price swapping all the time. But again, winning it at ground level, Wallace. Runs into trouble with his hand pass for the Stone Cats. Turns it over. Greeley's in the back pocket. Elects to switch and swap. Oh, his kick has been turned over. He was looking for Newton. It held up for some time. And the mark is taken, magnificently spotted by Bailey Angwin in the left forward pocket.
Yeah, they're setting up well behind the ball, both sides at the moment. So if you get into that forward 50, it's really difficult to get the ball out.
You've really got to kick down the line. Even though the rain looks like it's stopped at the moment, Holt, you can just kick down the line, get it out instead of trying to be too creative.
Yeah, the numbers are really stacked against you, though, if you go that way. That's the only thing.
This is a good attempt by Angwin, but across the face and sneaks through for a behind. 3 behinds on the board. They were inaccurate last week in the last quarter when they were looking to run over the top of Mount Eliza. 22 down at half-time, 8 at three-quarter time, and kicked 3-5 in the last quarter. 12-14, 86 to Mount Eliza, 13-8, 86. So 3 behind so far to 1 goal on the Grove Syndicates Australia scoreboard. Ball's at the city end. Back into play. Goes Amelfi, but the long sleeves favours the outer side for the Bombers. That's a big mark, Heratuku. That's why he's seen as one of the best players in the comp. Goes inside with his left foot pass and finds Greeley, the veteran. Brendan the Dan Lonigan hairdresser. No. He nearly turns it over to the middle of the ground. It's a loose ball now. Who's going to get there? Missed by Villas on this occasion. Stone Cats have got numbers at the back. It's mopped up. Good play by Goonan. Feeds a hand pass over the top now. Taken, and he's under some sort of pressure as Gregory. Gregory gets shrugged as he kicks inside 50. The kick is affected. Oh, I reckon there should nearly be a free kick to the Stone Cats as a Bombers player fell over him. Good hand pass comes out of defence now. Fox as he received from Pickus, but it falls to the back of the pack, and they've got numbers there. Luke Black tidies up for the Stone Cats. Kicks to half forward on the outer side. Heratuku couldn't mark, but he does well to approach the footy and get a hand pass out. Now they're on the burst. Sutton tagged late. Might affect the kick, and it does. And a turnover and a comfortable mark taken behind the play for the Stone Cats.
The pressure in this game is next level.
Yeah, it is. It certainly is.
Heratuku's been really...
Yeah, he has. And the mark's taken by Hura. Hura plays on. Turns an opponent inside out. Delivers into the middle of the ground now. Finds Goonan. Goonan kicks to half forward. He's got a 2-on-1 there. Fisted away. Harnett makes a magnificent spoil. Ball's at ground level. Goes in after it again. Bailey Engel was the player looking to take the mark. Harnett does well and gives away a free kick. Well, he did everything right.
He put it in that time.
He sure did. Free kick to young Berringer, who's come back from the Stingrays. His father, Mark, a legend at the club, but he just turns it over with a horror as Pickus picks him off at half back. Great pressure early. 3-point lead to the Bombers. One straight 6-3 behind. He's got a player running for him, Sutton. Getting a bit of it. And he kicked a goal from an advantage. Still at half back, though. Defending at the city end of the ground here at John Coburn Oval. Jubilee Park. He kicks down the line again. High kick. Pryor there. Waiting down the big man. Gets the hand pass out. Villas bounces off his chest. Turnover again. But good play by Fox. Pounces on it. Lovely squaring ball to centre half forward. Should have been a mark to Matt Harris. Then he lays a good tackle when it spills to the back and taken by Millwood. Inside defensive 50 for the Stone Cats. And the umpire says, give it to me, boys.
There's a kick from Fox inboard.
Oh, sensational. Can play. Sandringham Team of the Year in the VFL in 2019. Tapped down and taken on this occasion by Hutchison. He's held up in a bear-like tackle by 3 opponents. 45 from the goal that they're defending. Good play by Sutton to get the hand pass out. Hurry kick Greeley inside 50. Good contest at ground level. Fox is there again. He'll kick around the body. Hits the post. That would have been goal of the day.
He's dangerous, isn't he?
Oh, he's a brilliant player, Sam Fox. He just kicked around the body and didn't miss by much. 1-1-7 the Bombers. 3 behinds the Stone Cats on the Grey Syndicates Australia scoreboard. He just was like a cat in a hot tin roof in getting near that footy on that occasion. Hura to kick back into play. Favours the outer side, but he's turned it over, and Jared Grant chips in and takes the mark at left half forward just near the scoreboard. He'll look to play on that awkward kicking style by the big man. Kicks long towards full forward. Who's going to mark? Fox. No one can mark. Fox is there again. Kicks over his head, but across the face. That was a little bit more ambitious. Out of bounds in the opposite forward pocket. Boundary throw-in, 15 metres around.
He's lively early though, isn't he?
Oh, he's having a big influence. He might be a candidate for our best on ground thanks to Frankston RSL. And if you're down at the Frankston RSL and watching us on the app, you can also watch us on the big screen. Boundary throw-in. Heratuku wins it, but his hand pass is no good. Intercepted by Barry, just throws it on the boot, the veteran. Kicks towards the half-back line. Good hand pass comes out and now received, and they'll drive the kick long down the ground through Roan Steele. Steele's kicks a bouncing ball. He's got the hand pass from Hutchison, bursting through Drake. I reckon he didn't have the footies. He lost control of it. Now it comes on the outside to Amalfi, and the umpire will bring it back. He'll bring it back to Drake.
They were lucky then.
At half-back. They were.
YC had them outnumbered.
Yeah, they certainly did. 3 points the lead at the moment. 4 points the lead, I should say. Drake to Amelfi on the bounce. He's under some pressure. Goonan hovering around. Kicks inside 50. Heratuku makes a good contest. Villas again. Fumble, but gets it back to Herituku. Kicks long to full forward, almost to mark to Fox. Does well when the ball hits the ground. A post to Lilac. That'll be a great contest if we get a lot of it all day. Picked up by Hura, who's been pretty good in defence so far for the Stone Cats. Kicks to the outer side of the ground and winning it at ground level. Hurry kick back into play by Dids on this occasion for the Bombers. 30 metres out from goal. He's been good the first gamer so far. They'll try and clear again. Lambert gets the hand pass out. Bursting out of defence is Millwood for the Stone Cats. Kicks close to the boundary. Too close to the boundary, and an easy defensive mark is taken by the Bombers.
We see this pattern again, Dan. It's very hard to get it out, exit out of your defensive 50.
Pickers kicks down the line. Harnett, he's been opposed to 2 or 3 opponents so far. He did very well to get involved in that and knock it to the boundary, try and take a mark. So it's almost on attacking 50. It's a 4-point lead, 117 to 3 behind. So Chris Holcomb with us in commentary on GameFace, thanks to O'Brien Real Estate. Boundary throw-in, tap down again. Pickus is there. Lays a tackle on Goonan, forces him to be dispossessed. Pickus does well on the up. Harnett gets the kick run down. A lot of contested footy around the outer side. Quick kick, came out of the pack, and then the mark is dropped. And he's disappointed with himself, Bailey Angwin, as it just bounces off his chest. It's obviously a slippery ball, despite the fact that it's cleared up over the last 15 or 20 minutes or so.
They did well then because they outnumbered the Bombers 4-1 on the defensive side of the ball. So to win the contest and get it forward, they did well then, YC.
Schmidt taps it down. Opportunity for Villas. Pickus. Harnett shoves it forward. Grant does well, close to the boundary. Hunted by Hutchison over the line inside attacking 50 near the scoreboard. At the Frankston end of the ground where the Bombers are attacking. 117, the only goal to Brett Sutton. 3 behinds YCW. The Bombers by 4 points in the opening quarter. Round 3 of First Division. Back into play. Schmidt taps it down. Hook around the body. Good play, Harnett. Towards centre half forward. A bouncing ball fisted down by Lilac. Always does the 1%ers brilliantly. Grant close to the line. Can't get there. Skidding in front of him is Luke Black for YCW and over the boundary. 20 metres around as Harry Pryor has a rest. 1 sock up, 1 sock down. Seems to be the dress code in footy nowadays, Hulks. Boundary throw-in, 35 metres out, especially for the ruck. You're right. Stone Cats trying to emerge from the contest. They can't. And all over it was Wallace then. He had it, he lost it, and he put that ample frame down again to try and get it out, but he couldn't.
So you got two out behind the contest down the line. So if YC go down that way, they're going to be grossly outnumbered.
Picked up by Harnett from the stoppage. Hooks it around the body, but an excellent skidding mark taken by Black, who's been good so far in the last line of defence for the Stone Cats. Those defenders, they're medium-sized defenders, always get back and do a good job. He'll head down the outer side of the ground again. I wish he'd come to this side. High ball, but not a good one. And Herituku dropped it, but he gets paid the mark. I'm not sure about that.
Paid on reputation, mate.
Paid on reputation. Left half forward for the big fellow, Khan Herituku from Port Melbourne. And he'll come inside with his left foot pass, go back and probably concede some territory to young Garrett. His father is the game's record holder at the Bombers. Delivers now into the middle of the ground. And the mark completed by Josh Chapman, who's back playing with him after a year with Torquay in the Bellarine League. In short again to Pickus. Shakes the tackle. Stand, start, kick inside. 50! Mark in front. Yes, Buchan's got it. Great mark.
That was a fantastic mark. He had blokes crawling all over his back then.
He sure did. Good kick by Pickus, just straight down the guts.
Well, it was actually well worked, Dan, because they had numbers in that hole down there. So they worked it across to the middle, got that little break and put it to where they wanted it. So, it was a really good effort, and Corey didn't let him down.
7 goals from 11 possessions last week, coming off the tragic death, the sudden death of his father. Looking to kick a goal, and he does. He does. They've got a 10-point break, the Bombers. 2-1, 13 to 3 behinds. Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard, and that'll be a candidate, a great contested mark for our mark of the day, thanks to HP and CP Electrical Australia.
Yeah, he's been let to go off the chain a little bit, Bucks, over the last couple of weeks because there's so much work getting put into Khan and then Foxy on the ground. He sort of slips out, but he's a very, very good player, Dan.
He sure is.
Pickness still wearing Mullane in the middle, so that tag's
like a glove.
That's going to continue on that contest.
Bounce in the middle. Tap down by Herituku. Wallace tried to get it, he couldn't. Barrett was there. His teammate Wallace comes through again. Drives YCW long towards full forward. Troutbeck was the man. Drake got a little hand on it from the side. Just plays that defensive role so well and finds the boundary. The outer forward pocket at the city end of the ground. Deep into attack. the Stone Cats, but trailing by 10 points, close to quarter time, 2-1, 13 to 3 behinds. We'll go around the grounds at quarter time. Thanks to Frankie Photography. Boundary throwing again. Haratuku's having a great first quarter. Good tackling again. And they'll get out once more, the Bombers. But the handball almost run down Sutton. He almost got dragged down from behind. He hurries a kick, but getting in the road, Hoorah. Got the hand pass out to Lilac. Got the hand pass on this occasion towards England, but then a great mark floating back, Haratuku. That's a candidate for mark of the day, thanks to HP and CP Electrical in the last line of defence.
He's playing with a dry ball, Haratuku.
He is having a magnificent match. He's a candidate too for the Frankston RSL BOG, even though we're not at quarter time yet. He delivers into the back pocket and he finds Newton. He goes back to fullback. They're a bit hemmed in. They'll have to go down the line again, and they do, the Bombers. Getting up, trying to mark. Grant wasn't able to, and his teammate was at ground level there also trying to take the mark. Ryan Mark Slogan, haven't seen much of him so far. They have it inside. They're attacking 50 in the moment, the Stone Cats. The handball comes out towards Dids. It's picked up on this occasion. A hurry kick inside 50 by the Stone Cats. Close to the goal line. There's going to be a mark. Is it as a mark? Kick. Or a free kick? He's read it like a book. I think it's the forward Trout Beck. It was a high kick in towards the danger spot, which is right in the teeth of goal. And it was basically a chaos ball. And he read it like a book, the forward Trout Beck. Slight angle right on the quarter time siren. This is a vital goal for Matthew Troutbeck. The ex-Bentley players kicked 7 goals in 2 games, including 5 last week. His team need a goal. He's point-blank range. He kicks the goal, and that'll help their cause. 1-3-9 to 2-1-13 at quarter time. That is his 8th goal of the season. He's kicked the only goal so far for the Stone Cats. It took until the 30-minute mark of the quarter. Goals to Buchan and Sutton for the Bombers, who are 2-1-13, and they lead the Stone Cats 1-3-9 on the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. And, of course, our coverage today brought to you by O'Brien Real Estate. Before we take a break, let's go around the grounds for Frankie Photography, thanks to Chris Holcomb. Holks?
Div 1, we've got Sereno 5-5-35 versus Edithvale 2-1-13. Bomb Beach 3-6, 24 against Dramana 2-1-13. Ooh, have a look at this one. 6-0 Pines, 36. Rosebud 4-4, 28.
It's not like Rosebud to be that bad defensively to allow 6 goals through, considering what they've done in the first 2 weeks.
Well, there's no Sean Danny today. He's a huge loss.
He is.
And the other one, it's going to be a cracking game. Red Hill 1-2-8, Mount Eliza 1-1-7 up on the hill, which might have seen a bit of rain action.
Do you think?
Well, I would say so, mate. I would say so. And we've got...
second division as well before we take a break?
Yeah, second division.
Thanks to Frankie Photography.
And Chelsea, 6-1-37. Seaford, 3-4-22.
Wow.
Langy, 3-5-23, tie 1 point. Summy, 3-5-23. Kringle, 5-2-32. They're doing well, they're Kringle at the moment.
We haven't got the others as yet.
We haven't as yet,
So keep those scores going. Well, they're later on, of course. Rise playing at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Chelsea playing tonight, and Mornington and Devon Meadows with
tomorrow.
Brett Delidio lining up. I wore that jumper during the week. I wonder if they washed it. So we look forward to that game tomorrow as part of an Anzac Day standalone game at Devon Meadows. We'll take a break. It is a 4-point lead, 2-1-13 for the Bombers. YCW 1-3-9 on the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. This is our coverage of round 3 of the MPNFL in First Division, live from John Coburn Oval at Jubilee Park, Frankston. 4-point lead to the Bombers, thanks to O'Brien Real Estate. Get your game.
Hi everyone, it's Tim from Growth Syndicates Australia and we're financial transformation specialists. Our clients are eliminating their mortgage in a much shorter period of time, creating more wealth and boosting their super. This is all done without impacting their lifestyle. Sounds amazing? Well, let me explain a little bit about the GSA Advantage. With clients all around Australia and a head office located in Elsternwick, our team of very experienced professionals enable unique and exclusive property investment opportunities through wholesale investing for clients to achieve specific outcomes. Our current projects are located in Brighton, Malvern East, Kew, Glen Iris and Mont Albert North. Everyone's busy and that's a fact. But did you know for every day you have a mortgage and underperforming investments or superannuation, you're missing out on $350 every day. It all starts with a friendly phone discussion to then arrange a meeting to provide you with a clear picture on what GSA achieves for our clients, and with no charge or obligation, see where these results can apply to you. So check us out at growthsyndicatesaustralia.com. Give us a call on 1300 205 556. I'd love to have a catch-up coffee with you at your place or our office. See where GSA can improve your financial position.
Welcome back to John Coburn Oval at Jubilee Park. Good first quarter of footy in round 3 of First Division. We're just wrapped to have footy back. The intensity is up between the Bombers, 5th on the table, 1 win, 1 loss. And YCW, 1 win, 1 draw, ahead of Mount Eliza by 1.27%, just to be absolutely precise. Chris Holcomb. 2-1-13 the Bombers. YCW 1-3-9 for the Bombers. Goal kicker Sutton and Buchan. And right on the quarter time siren, Matt Trebek got a free kick or a mark deep in the goal square down at the city end to kick his 8th goal of the season. But, gee, the intensity was up, wasn't it?
It was a great first quarter. The only thing that was worrying, Bombers really dictated terms in that quarter. Their intensity was right up. The only thing that worried me is YC were really dangerous on the counter-attack. When they had a fast break, Bombers were lucky a few times not to get out and probably have a few more goals scored against them. But, yeah, Hirotuku, he looked like he was playing with a different ball that quarter than anyone else.
He was brilliant. He must be a candidate for the Frankston RSL Best on Ground coverage, thanks to O'Brien Real Estate. Out of the middle, straight away, Mullane gets a kick inside 50, a hurried ball. Better possession for him, but they've got numbers at the back, and they'll clear out of defence again, the Bombers. This is Josh Chapman, who's a beautiful kick. Kicks to the wing, it spills to the back. They've got loose men everywhere. It's taken by Fox, and he kicks towards half forward. And an excellent mark taken. 45 metres out on a slight angle by Kingsbury.
Is that Bucks, I think?
Or is it Bucket? It might be Buchan. You're right, it is Buchan.
It was a great pass from Foxy, wasn't it?
Oh, he's a beautiful player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Almost kicked a spectacular goal over his head. He had a couple of chances at it. The second one was a bit more of a misconnection. It is Buchan. Right half forward. About 50 to 55 metres out at 15 to 25 degree angle. Kicks long, kicks high to the teeth of goals. They've got the carry.
It is.
We'll wait goal. Now that's got to be a big candidate for our game changer goal of the day. They got the defenders back, the home team, the Stone Cats, but it had the carry, it had the distance. What a mighty roost of the footy that was by Corey Buck, and he's now kicked 2. He's got 9 for the season. And he's going to be very damaging if he gets ball like that, and there's nothing. No matter how miserly those defenders are and how good they are, the Stone Cats will do it. Sam Fox is streaming through the middle of the ground or down the outer wing as he was then, Hulks.
Oh, that was a terrific start. I mean, he had Mullane coming out of the middle. There's one thing for sure, every possession he has is going to be contested today.
No doubt about that. So back to a 10-point lead on the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. Contested ball in the middle of the ground. Socket out by Chapman again of the Bombers. Good tackling laid by Credlin. And the ball goes nowhere. Just sort of heading towards the wing on the outer side. The netball court side of the ground.
That's another great matchup they're going to have today, Dan. Wallace has gone to Harnett, so that's going to be a terrific battle.
Out of the middle, Chapman again has had a lot of earlier. Scored a long inside 50, almost to mark the big Herituku. We've got to worry about him now. Grant's there, roving, gets his kick partially smothered. Lilac's hand pass was a little bit severe. It's tapped across the face now, taken by LaFontaine. He's met late, and his kick is affected, and it can't be reined in by Goonan. At half back for the Stone Cats, are having trouble getting it outside their defensive 50 at the city end at the moment, opening couple of minutes of the second quarter. The margin 10 points, 3-1-19 to 139. Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. Back into play again. Doing the ruck work prior. Left-handed tap, doesn't really clear the congestion. Ball doesn't come out. Millwood's on the bottom of the pack, scrapping hard there for the Stone Cats. With him is Kingsbury, the best and fairest winner in the Nepean competition, the last year of it, 2017, where they lost the grand final to Sorrento, the Bombers. Close to the boundary again. I reckon it's going to be a free kick to Mullane. He was taken and not in possession. Lost control of it, but it's not given.
Oh, playing for it, Dan.
Spills off hands, you reckon? Playing for it?
Playing for it. He's under the pump, so he's going to try and eke everything he can out today.
Yes, he's got a hard tag on him in Pickus. Back into play, 35 metres around. Knocked down. Pickus is there again. Can't get a clean possession for the Bombers. Deep into their attacking zone. Wallace working hard on hands and knees for the Stone Cats. Schmidt there as well. Picked up close to the boundary. Taken an attack. That's got to be holding the ball against Briggs. That has to be. Harnett grabbed him, got him, and dispossessed him. He's hard on the boundary, Harnett. Left forward pocket. Not much daylight.
Too far out to score.
Too far out. Just what? Lob it up to the goal square, you reckon, Holtz? Yeah. 10-point lead for the Bombers at the moment. Harnett will kick. It's a good-looking kick across the face. Drops a bit short, but it's a good kick that should have nearly been marked. The chest mark was dropped, and the umpire says, give it to me. Now it's going to be a free kick, and running out of defence is Black. He kicks to the outer side of the ground, a bouncing ball. Picked up those dids, has been good so far. The first gamer kicks around the body close to the boundary before Amelfi could get there. Now, that mark should have been taken by the Bombers. It bounced off the chest. Herituku couldn't quite hang on to it. The only mistake he's made so far. 10-point lead, 3-1-19 to 139. You think he would have kicked the soda from point-blank range. Boundary throw-in again. Tap to the front. Handball comes out. And now they've got a chance to go through Wallace. He receives it. He kicks down the line. That should nearly be a mark. 2, 3, 4 grabs to Goonan. Goonan will come inside. Now did well last week for the Demons. Met late by Sutton. Drives it long inside 50. From behind, big strong mark taken. That'll help their cause. And taking the mark on that occasion for the Stone Cats. It's kicked inside 50. Looks to play on. And that was Butlin. And he played on again and got taken down in a tackle. And then eventually Drake is also dragged in a tackle just outside the goal square as it dribbled towards him. And he wasn't able to get away. And, well, it's a free kick against him. I wonder whether he did get a little boot to ball, though. But Wallace will be the recipient of the free kick as his forward pressure was immense, Lockie Wallace. And he'll hook around the body here from 25 metres out to cut the margin to 4 points in this very intense encounter so far. He runs around, he opens up the angle, and he misses.
They were very lucky then, Dan, because they were outnumbering Frankston. Frankston didn't get back to Bombers didn't get back defensively at all. So
yeah, they got caught on the rebound a bit, didn't they?
They did, and if Drake had cleared that, they were very, very lucky.
1-4-10 to 3-1-19. Didmen Cantonio, I'm calling him Dids at the moment. But he's doing well, the young fellow. He's on his own in the back pocket. But Amalfi will drive it long towards our commentary position. From behind Buchan, in front, almost a good mark there to Pryor. Pryor on hands and knees, tried to scrape it out. Could have almost been a free kick to Sutton. Now it's won by Barry. Gets the hand pass out in the direction of Lambert. High ball for the Stone Cats. Inside 50, Butlin there. Didn't see much of him in the first quarter. Got a hand pass out now to Goonan. High up and under kick in the mine shaft. Goes nowhere in a hurry. Loose ball. Back to Goonan again. Free kick. Player tried to take a mark. Got one high. The umpire says advantage and they've kicked the goal. Everyone stopped. The hand pass came out and the goal's been kicked by Steele. I'm not sure that they should have allowed it to continue playing on because the Bombers guys had stopped, but the umpire let it go, and they've kicked their second. 2-4-16 to 3-1-19. Steele kicks his first, and YCW cut the margins at 3 points on the Great Syndicates Australia scoreboard.
Well, you got to keep going, Dan. I mean, you're in the back line. You've got to play every contest until you can.
But do you think it should have been called back? I think it should have been called back.
No, I disagree with you, Dan.
You do? Why?
Yeah, because I thought it was in the flow of play. How's that?
Well, you know the game better than I do, so I'll go with you. As Mullane tried to get it out, he was, again, set upon. He just can't get much clean possession at the moment. The umpire says, give it to me. A lot of contested footy at the moment. Premier Data will have all the stats for us during the week. Our wonderful partnership with Premier Data and GameFace this year. Going up a little bit too early. Just getting a little tap down was Barrett, the second ruckman for the Stone Cats. Loose ball comes out. Good hand pass, Harris. Quick hands. They get a hurried kick now towards Villas. Villas might have ducked his head. Attacking side of the centre square for the Bombers. The umpire says, give it to me. It's getting dark again. 4-point lead. 3-1-19 to 2-3-15. Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. 1 goal apiece this quarter. The Bombers in front. Pryor, a nice little punch. Little hand pass came out on this occasion by Matt Harris. Loose ball. They've got an opportunity again. Wallace upended. Bouncing ball inside 50 for the Stone Cats. Intercepted by Ryan Marks Logan, who's been pretty quiet so far. Off the side of the boot, the
contest.
kick. Good contest. LaFontaine was there. Involved with Kingsbury, who came the other way. 2 good tough nuts, and they knock it over the boundary, attacking side of the wing for Frankston YCW, almost at half forward on the outer side of the ground. 3-1-19 to 2-4-16, a 3-point lead at the moment for the Bombers. 2 goals to Buchan for them so far. Prior to the front, that's got to be a free kick because Harnett went to grab it, didn't have possession of the footy, then was pulled backwards. Might have exacerbated it a little bit, but he'll get the free kick at half back on the netball side of the ground. In short, worked out okay. Mark taken by Pickus, who started his footy career at YCW and won a league best and fairest in the under-19s. He's played some VFL footy as well. High ball down the line. Big fist towards the boundary. Kingsbury there, won't get there. A lot of players crash and bash. It's almost on the boundary line there. It's a contested footy. Both teams like it. Little hand pass comes out, but again, the Bombers, they'll just shove it forward towards half forward. Big fist from behind. Good play on that occasion by Luke Black. Again, the Bombers try and get it down towards their attacking 50. Both teams under immense pressure. Villas is there. Harris as well, their small forward who provides a lot of pressure. Needs a haircut. Matty Harris, the umpire will throw it up. Maybe I'm jealous. 45 metres out from goal at the city end. They're up by 3 points, the Bombers. A big tap towards the boundary. Buchan there, can't grab it. Clearing handball came out from Briggs. Wallace has it now in short. Good foot pass, and he finds Mazarek. Mazarek marking at half back for the Stone Cats. 3 points down. He's on the left. He lowers the eyes. He delivers in short. They've got numbers everywhere.
Oh.
Nice kick. But eventually it looked like a nice kick originally for Credlin, but it held up for way too long. And Mark Logan has read it to perfection, so another turnover just behind the wing for the Bombers. He kicks back inside 50. Big mark taken, one of the marks of the day. HP and CP Electrical by the young second ruckman in Zach Barrett. He kicks to the outer side of the ground. Good kick. Finds LaFontaine. LaFontaine, Daisy cuts a kick into the middle of the ground. Vacuumed up by Wallace, and he's also vacuumed up in a tackle. Loose ball spills out to Harris for the Bombers. Goes defensively by hand. Pickus has been great, getting a lot of it as well as also keeping Mullane quiet. In short now to Chapman. Chapman will bomb it long and the rain's very heavy. Kicks inside 50. No mark taken by Fox. Had the field to beat. Loose ball. Going in hard as Gregory for the Stone Cats. He holds it up 30 metres out. And it is persistently coming down, Chris Holcomb now. Persistently coming down. 3-1-19 to 2-4-16. And everyone is ducking for cover. 12 minutes gone in the quarter on the Grey Syndicates Australia scoreboard. It's missed by Villas. Cleared out of defence on this occasion. Towards the boundary by Black of the Stone Cats before Credlin could get there. And also Greeley, the 2 number 18s of the respective teams. Boundary throw, and as Jared Grant wanders back on with that familiar gait. And it'll be thrown back into play. Pryor taps it down again, looking for one of his rovers to get it. Harnett tried to throw it on the boot. He couldn't. Tapped out again, picked up by Grant, made it look easy, but he turns it over straight on the chest of Barry. Barry goes towards centre half back. Nice foot pass. Finds his teammate taking the mark, Hoora. Hoora now will play on. Half distance pass again. Good use of the footy in the wet. Finds Mazarak. Mazarak now runs away from Fox. Didn't put a lot of pressure on him. Kicks on the left, kicks it wide to Fontaine. Gee, aren't they using the footy well in the wet with these half distance passes? The Stone Cats, as they try and pick their way through the Bombers' defence. They trail by 3 points on the outer side of the ground. The rain is so heavy. Kicks long towards half forward. It clears all the defenders, including Amalfi, and goes out of bounds right next to the scoreboard. Our coverage, thanks to O'Brien's Real Estate, a 3-point lead, 1 goal apiece this quarter. The Bombers 3-1-19, YCW 2-4-16. The Great Syndicates Australia scoreboard. Boundary throw-in again. Credlin taps it down, trying to burst his way through, getting a little hand pass out was Mark Logan, but Credlin laid a very good tackle and just managed to jar it free legally from the hands of Mark Logan. Look at that rain. That's all. Is that almost...
it's almost hail.
It is hail, I reckon.
That is horrendous.
I'll tell you a story in a second about an announcer many, many moons ago. Not a bad 3HA weather, not a bad day outside, expecting hail. The ball comes out the back, picked up on this occasion by the Bombers. Hurry kick off the side of the boot by Garrett. No mark was taken, then it's socked close to the boundary and eventually finds the sanctuary of the boundary line on the outer side of the ground. And it is wet.
That is coming down, Dan. Coming down.
Now, you watched Jane last night. Did she predict it to be as wet as this today, Chris?
I wasn't really concentrating on what was being said, more the dress she had on. Mate.
No, well, the Farmers used to do that when she was in Ballarat. Boundary thrown, close to the boundary, missed by LaFontaine. Handball comes out from Pickus. He can't find a target. It was a speculative hand pass from the Bomber Tagger, doing a good job on the lane so far. Before today, averaging around 33 possessions a game. You can see in the background, the footy's on the outer side of the ground where the netball courts are. And the girls are playing in this teeming rain on the netball courts. Good on you, girls. Well done. It's picked up, high ball towards the wing. Fox, did he take the mark?
Hands.
Yeah, great hands out to Kingsbury, who's taken down at a tackle. It should be holding the ball. I think in these conditions, the umpires will let it go. No one can get a clean possession. It's just tough, hard, wet weather footy at the moment. Stone Cats pick it up again. They kick into vacant territory, but a good mark taken by Engwin and gets the hand pass out now towards Briggs. Briggs kicks the half forward. No mark taken. Bouncing off the chest of Butland. They get it back again. Quick hand pass comes out from Black to centre half forward. Taken in a tackle. The umpire says, give it to me, boys. I'll throw it up.
Yeah, this is intense.
Intense is the operative word. The player that was taken in a tackle in was Mazarak, right on attacking 50. He was claimed profusely. Loose ball, almost picked up by Nickus. He lost it. He regained it. Now LaFontaine emerges. Outer side, kicks inside 50. Look for the foot pass. Knocked down. Defenders are there. Page does well to burst out of defence, but kicks to vacant territory on the wing. It's all Stone Cats and Bailey Engwin. He collects on his own in front of our commentary position. Kicks off the edge of the boot. Credlin had it fisted away. Good contest. Young Garrett does well. And gee, I reckon an opponent was right into him in Engwin. He was right into him. He tunneled him. That should have been a free kick. And I thought young Garrett did a great job. He did a great job. His father, of course, games record holder at the Bombers. Thrown up on the wing. Schmidt up beats Pryor. Attacking it hard, Mullane. Shows his class. Kicks it low and flat inside 50. Wallace on the half volley. Grabs it after losing it originally. Now he has a flying shot at goal, which nearly comes back. But in the end, Drake does well to also skid into the fence to stop himself from getting hurt. He allowed his feet to hit the fence first. That knocks it through for a behind. The first score for some time. 2-5-17, 3-1-19. Great Syndicates Australia scoreboard. And it is raining men and women and kids.
Yeah, it's going to be important for both sides now when they just pump that ball long to make sure they're positioned right down the ground.
Drake looking for Harnett. Had it fisted away late. Close to the boundary. Can't keep it alive as Dids. Right on half back. Boundary throw in.
Pryor off for a rest. Teratuku into the ruck.
I think Villas is coming on too. Haven't seen much of him so far. Could be a day for the small forwards in the second half. Boundary throw-in. Tap back into play. Trying to grab it. Was Gregory. Hurried kick towards full forward for the Stone Cats, but clearing out of defence. Gee, that should nearly be holding the ball.
He hit
Drake.
his foot.
No, he did hit it with his foot and then got thrown to the ground. He was lucky. He was brought down late in the tackle. As Kyle Hutchison drove the kick inside 50, just scrambled it. It was an awkward kick too, but Drake did well. Such a solid defender. He's going to go across the post. He's hit the behind post on the full. Kicked it out of bounds on the full. Why not kick it this side of the ground? Get the numbers on this side of the ground. Man's got to know your limitations, especially in the wet. And he's just given an opportunity here for LaFontaine, hard on the boundary. He's hit that behind post, that left-hand behind post. LaFontaine will open up the angle, snap and goal. One of the goals of the day that's given YCW the lead.
It's called a coach killer.
Well, that could be a coach killer. And we can't see Bo Muston. He's actually just inside the dugout at the moment because it's raining. Not too far away from us, the Bombers dugout, about 20 metres to our right here, where we're broadcasting from in the GameFace van. But why would Drake go across the face? Oh, there's some lightning too. They might have to bring them off in a minute. They might have to bring them off. That's two lots of lightning.
Oh, that's not good. That's not
3-5-23 to 3-1-19.
Yeah, no.
That's three now.
Look, it's a mistake that Drake made. Obviously, that's just a reminder for all the backmen. Just get it out. Get it wide. Get it out of your 50 and then just start again.
23-19. Bounce in the middle. One down by Herituku, but rode by Goonan. Starting to win a lot of the clearances. Missed by Greeley. You can understand that with a wet ball. Butlin did well to get a hand pass out. Going back in both teams. Angwin in there as well. Couldn't grab it. Herituku made it look easy. Swoops onto it. It kicks towards half-forward. Grant nearly took a good mark. Had two to beat. Did well to paddle it out cleverly towards half-forward. Pouncing onto Chapman. Gets a hand pass forward of the play again towards Villas. Villas goes in hard. Locks it inside the attacking 50. They've got numbers at ground level over the Stone Cats. Good play to get a hand pass out by Lilac and then a flying shot by the Bombers. Is it out of bounds on the full?
Nah, I think it's throw in, mate.
Boundary throw in, deep into attack. They did well just to shove that forward. And what about Grant then? The cleverness and the experience of him to just knock it on, keep it going in the wet.
That's what you expect out of your senior players on a wet day, and I think that's been the knock on Granny the last couple of years, so it's good to see him do that.
4-point lead for the Stone Cats. Goonan getting a lot of the hard footy. Quick kick, almost a good mark to Chapman. Lunging forward, couldn't take the mark. Loose ball. Number of players want it. Grabbed on this occasion. Hurry kick comes out from the Stone Cats and lunging forward and taking a very, very good mark on this occasion is Trebek, a long way from home. Trebek on the wing. He's got LaFontaine bouncing for him at right half forward. Feeds a hand pass over the top, was lazy. Intercepted comfortably by the Bombers. Now the kick comes towards the wing. No mark taken by Villas, but had a couple to beat. Ball was rode by Harris. Harris wobbles it towards Grant. Doesn't get a good bounce, but Grant does well to get it towards the back. He soccers it cleverly, but they've got numbers at the back, the Stone Cats, and they should nearly rush it through for a behind. They do.
Good contest then by Kobe Villas.
Yeah, it was.
Very good contest for a little fella. Is that lightning again?
Working hard was Chase Harris. So that's the fourth time we've seen it in 5 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, and now the fifth time. When do you stop it? Back into play. Luke Black. Schmidt can't mark it. Ball's at ground level. Wallace has got it now. Mullane.
Mulane's deep.
Good play. On the left. He wants it. That's where the kick is intended. Close to the boundary, but in the end he had to backtrack. Pickus is right with him. Good play bringing it down that outer side. Heavily involved in it. He's had a lot of footy this quarter is Mazarek, who was one of the players got in the chain there for the Stone Cats, just the attacking side of the wing. 3-point lead on the Great Syndicates Australia scoreboard. 2-1 this quarter for the Stone Cats. 3-5-23 to 3-2-20. Fossicking for the ball inside defensive 50 is Greeley for the Bombers. He's all over it. He can't be penalised. The umpire says, give it to me. Lights are on. Plenty of people home here. Tap down again. Close to the boundary. Greeley goes after it again. Those hard bodies starting to really have an impact for the Stone Cats, although Herituku just shoves it on the boot, and luckily Harnett was their defensive side of the wing on the outer side of the ground. Delivers close to the boundary to find Sutton, who'd love these conditions. At 31 last week and kicked the first goal of the game. His teammate battling to score at the moment. Kicked the first goal of this quarter, but down at the moment by 4 points. Kicks towards the wing. Off the chest on this occasion.
That was
of Briggs. He couldn't hang on to it, and it's a boundary throw-in on the wing.
That's not so much luck coming out of the back line, Dan. It's like we were talking about. You've got to set up behind the ball and understand it's a wet day and it's going to come out quick. So you've got to position yourself in the right spot, and Arnett did that on that occasion.
23-19. Back into play. Rain settled down a bit after we had a bit of lightning. Wallace's kick not great, but Goonan is a big body. Breaks a couple of tackles. Hutchison helping him out. Left foot kick towards half forward. Fisted down again. Ball's at ground level. Butland tries to burst his weight of tackles hard on the boundary. Gets the hand pass out again. Hutchison going in very, very hard. Close to the boundary again. Number of players just milling in after the contest. Picked up by the Stone Cats. A kick inboard is no good. And it'll be cleared by Chapman. Chapman, though, completely miskicks it. He loves to run and kick it long, but on that occasion he miskicked it. They've got numbers at the back. The handball came out from Hoover. Got it towards Lilac, but he turns it over at half back. And an easy mark taken again for the Bombers by Chapman, who's had a lot of it, but hasn't used it very well. And on that occasion, his teammate, well, it goes through his legs. Completely clean bowled him Amalfi. Then he has to try and lay a tackle and put an opponent over the boundary line, which he does.
It was another example of someone spending too much time with the ball and overthinking it. They just need to smash it on the boot and get it forward. Credlin
was the player he managed to stymie and put over the boundary in front of the netballers. 4-point lead, close to half-time. 2-1 for the Stone Cats. A lot of the play on that outer side of the ground. Number of players, again, Fossicking forward at ground level. Hand pass came out from Dids. Creeley got a hand pass to Fox. Kick was run down. Lilac's in the road. Quick give towards Credlin. He gets upended. Spills to the back. Good play on this occasion by Lambert. Handballs on the outside. Both teams fighting hard at ground level. Chase Harris laid a good tackle for the Bombers on Luca Goonan. Off hands. Goes over the line and out of bounds once more. It'll be thrown back into play.
So if you look up now and you're going down the line and you see all the out numbers, that's on the blokes down the line. They've got to get it right. It's up to the bloke with the ball in their hand just to get that thing forward, and they can do the rest up forward.
Special comments thanks to Chris Holcomb and the Telstra Business Technology Centre of South Melbourne. Boundary throw-in again. Our major sponsor today, O'Brien Real Estate. 3-point lead. Back into play, Schmidt. Haratuku to the front of the pack. Good play by Goonan, who's done a lot of the clearance work. Got tackled, had to get rid of it quickly. Came back to him, and then he had 3 on him, ensuring he goes nowhere in a hurry. But the Stone Cats are 3-5-23, and the Bombers just 1-1 this quarter, 3-2-20. On the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. Tap down again. Roving is Lambert. Taken down at a tackle. That's holding the ball as he was trying to skip away. Great tackling by Sutton, who's been pretty good as he gets the free kick at half-back. But their issue, as Chris said, is they're breaking down across half-forward at the moment, the Bombers, at the city end close to half-time. He'll kick close to the boundary. It's 50 metres. 50 metres. The mark was taken by... He kicked close to the man of the mark because the man had stepped over the mark in Credlin. So Sutton will go from behind the wing on the outer side to about 60 metres out from goal.
Pickness has just come off the ground with Mullane. He's actually was going to go over and sit with him on the YC bench. He wants to stay that tight with him today.
Yeah, he's done a good job, hasn't he?
He has.
Ros Ward, the veteran, who captained Frankston, coming on for the Bombers. His first senior game this year after a couple of games in the reserves with our mate Reese from GameFace. His team had a good win today. Surprised YCW, who have dominated the reserves for many years. So right half forward. Kingsbury with the free kick now. Bangs it long, and he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Good distance with a pretty wet ball. We'll go around the grounds at half-time, thanks to Frankie Media, first and second division. There's some second division matches on a bit later as Khan Heratuga, big smile on his face, walks past us.
Well, he's going to get the sunscreen on. The sun's out now.
Yeah,
mate.
it is. It's funny, isn't it? Long kick back into play. Great mark by Fox. Read it like a book. So he'll repel it long, back inside attacking 50. Almost a big mark to Harnett. Could have been mark of the day thanks to HP and CP Electrical. Ball's off hands, close to the line, and it's parried over the line on this occasion by Amalfi. And it'll be thrown back into play. It's at Langwarren in 2019, back at the Bombers now. Played in those 2 grand finals of 2016, 2017 off hands. Credlin read it superbly, got the hand pass off now.
Goonan again.
To Goonan, who's had a lot of it. Skidding little ball to the middle of the ground, didn't quite find a target. Then good tackling, and there'll be a free kick. Player taken off the ball. Will grab that free kick, and that is Mazarak. Gets the hand pass out.
Goonan again.
And Goonan will receive once more.
Stepped up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been outstanding in this quarter. He's knocked up getting it. He's won a lot of the clearances. And he will measure it down the line towards half forward. Oh, that's an excellent mark to young Des. He should be paid that in the wet. Off hands. It's sharked by Greeley of the Bombers. Kicks close to the boundary. And Buchan, who's kicked a couple of goals, gets pushed off it on this occasion. and it goes over the line and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
He's been ultra impressive in the back line, the young fella, hasn't he, mate?
Oh, he has.
Ultra impressive.
In his first game, he's really shown that he's going to be a good player. Of course, the under-18 comp, I don't know why it's having a 4-week break, but it is. Schoolboy footy's back today as the boundary thrown, and Goonan got another clearance, but his hand pass was slammed down, so it's half-time. Quarter that had everything. Rain, hail and shine and thunder, Chris. It is a 3-point lead at half-time on the Grey Syndicates Australia scoreboard. Our coverage today proudly brought to you by O'Brien Real Estate. It is 3-5-23 YCW, 2 goals to 1 that quarter to 3-2-20 for the Bombers. 2 goals to Buchan to give him 9 for the season, 1 to Sutton. And Steele has a goal. And also Trebek has kicked the goals for the YCW team. And they've been pretty impressive so far today among their goal kickers in their lead, which is 3-5-23 to 3-2-20 at quarter time. Chris, let's go around the grounds thanks to Frankie Media.
Sereno 9-8-62, well in front of Edithvale 2-2-14. Bomb Beach 5-7-37, Dramana 5-3-33. So really tight game there.
Yep.
Pine 6-2-38, so Rosebud to come back and kick to the next 4. So they're 7-7-49, so 11-point lead there at half-time. And Red Hill 2-4-16, Mount Eliza 1-3-9. So a really tight score up there on the mountain as we slide into Division 2.
3 games to look at the moment.
Yeah, Division 2, you got Chelsea, who have probably bounced back after the last couple of weeks. 8-1-49 versus Seaford 5-9-39. Crib Point 3-1-19, Hastings 5-7-37. Langwarrin against Tybe. Langwarrin 7-12-54. Tybe 0-3-3.
We really thought Tyre would improve this year. It just hasn't worked for them yet. And of course, the match at Rye starting at 5 o'clock, like I did 2 weeks ago against Pearsdale. Night match between.
No, it's a day game, Devon Meadows.
It's a day game
Mornington
tomorrow, Devon Meadows and Mornington.
And then you've got Somerville 8-8-56 and now back in front of Kringle 7-6-48.
I thought the Chelsea game was a night match too, but obviously brought forward.
No, they're in front at half-time, which is a bit of a surprise, mate.
It is. So that's thanks to Frankie Media. So it's 3-5-23 to 3-2-20, a 3-point lead for YCW. Good half of footy. Do you think YCW used the conditions a bit better?
They did in that quarter. I don't think Bombers aren't getting full benefit out of the domination that Hiratuku and Pryor are having in the ruck.
Yes.
I think they're getting their first hand of the ball a lot, but I think YC have been a little bit better at ground level. Lockie Wallace was really good that quarter. Mullane had a couple of touches, but he's getting well blanketed. But the big one was Goonan, really got on top. LaFontaine's
got a big body, hasn't he, Goonan?
He has, and he finds the ball really well. LaFontaine's been pretty quiet, but their backlines managed to hold up pretty well, YC. They rebounded a lot better that quarter. I think they were a bit stagnant with their rebound in the first quarter. But first half of footy, just pressure. And I really can't see either side really breaking free. I think it's going to be an arm wrestle all day.
Well, yeah, Steele kicked a terrific goal. Trebek kicked a terrific goal as well. So, and LaFontaine kicked the other goal too for the YCW team. It was 3-5-23, and they lead the Bombers 3-2-22 to Buchan, and 1-2 Dale Sutton kicked the first goal of the match. So it's going to be an arm wrestle in the second half. We hope the rain stays away. There were 5 little bursts of lightning then, which got slightly scary. But we'll see what happens in the second half. Conditions a lot better. Bit of blue sky above now, but this is Melbourne. Who knows what we're going to get. 3-point lead at half-time on the Grey Syndicates Australia score. We'll take a break and be back with more shortly.
Welcome to the 2021 edition of the GameFace Record app, jam-packed with the newest features to help you get the best information for your club and competition this 2021 footy season. New users will now be prompted to sign up via Facebook or email to help out with our new interactive features. Here you'll be prompted to select which team you follow for one of the leagues that GameFace provides its coverage to. You'll be notified for updates exclusive to that team that you follow. More teams can be followed once you're in the app. Some other exciting features include the new social media capabilities. The newsfeed from our designated Facebook groups is now synchronised through Facebook, so you can now get the league's latest news right through our app. GameFace is now also introducing GameFace TV alongside the new update. Here, you'll be able to watch GameFace Match of the Days, interviews, and other video content that we provide, all in an easy-to-access newsfeed. Live scoring makes a return, with the latest up-to-date scores on game day for each match being played delivered straight to your phone right in the change rooms after the game. You can now also view stats in more detail, such as best players of the round, the ladder, team lists, as well as leading goal scorers for the division. Our club pages have been reworked, now with more of a one-stop shop for vital information. Here you can view dedicated content for your club, such as purchasing merchandise, memberships, and much more. We're ready to tackle this footy season, so make sure you download the brand new GameFace digital record app.
Get your GameFace on.
For any real estate advice, feel free to drop into 188 Main Street, Mornington, or call us on 5975 7733, or feel free to contact any of our 25 plus O'Brien offices Victoria-wide.
Hi everyone, it's Tim from Growth Syndicates Australia and we're financial transformation specialists. Our clients are eliminating their mortgage in a much shorter period of time, creating more wealth and boosting their super. This is all done without impacting their lifestyle. Sounds amazing? Well, let me explain a little bit about the GSA Advantage. With clients all around Australia and a head office located in Elsternwick, our team of very experienced professionals enable unique and exclusive property investment opportunities through wholesale investing for clients to achieve specific outcomes. Our current projects are located in Brighton, Malvern East, Kew, Glen Iris and Mont Albert North. Everyone's busy and that's a fact. But did you know for every day you have a mortgage and underperforming investments or superannuation, you're missing out on $350 every day. It all starts with a friendly phone discussion to then arrange a meeting to provide you with a clear picture on what GSA achieves for our clients, and with no charge or obligation, see where these results can apply to you. So check us out at growthsyndicatesaustralia.com. Give us a call on 1300 205 556. I'd love to have a catch-up coffee with you at your place or our office. See where GSA can improve your financial position.
Welcome to the 2021 edition of the GameFace Record app, jam-packed with the newest features to help you get the best information for your club and competition this 2021 footy season. New users will now be prompted to sign up via Facebook or email to help out with our new interactive features. Here you'll be prompted to select which team you follow for one of the leagues that GameFace provides its coverage to. You'll be notified for updates exclusive to that team that you follow. More teams can be followed once you're in the app. Some other exciting features include the new social media capabilities. The newsfeed from our designated Facebook groups is now synchronised through Facebook, so you can now get the league's latest news right through our app. GameFace is now also introducing GameFace TV alongside the new update. Here you'll be able to watch GameFace Match of the Days, interviews and other video content that we provide, all in an easy to access newsfeed. Live scoring makes a return, with the latest up-to-date scores on game day for each match being played delivered straight to your phone right in the change rooms after the game. You can now also view stats in more detail, such as best players of the round, the ladder, team lists, as well as leading goal scorers for the division. Our club pages have been reworked, now with more of a one-stop shop for vital information. Here you can view dedicated content for your club, such as purchasing merchandise, memberships and much more. We're ready to tackle this footy season, so make sure you download the brand new GameFace digital record app.
Get your GameFace on.
For any real estate advice, feel free to drop into 188 Main Street, Mornington, or call us on 5975 7733, or feel free to contact any of our 25 plus O'Brien offices Victoria-wide.
Hi everyone, it's Tim from Growth Syndicates Australia and we're financial transformation specialists. Our clients are eliminating their mortgage in a much shorter period of time, creating more wealth and boosting their super. This is all done without impacting their lifestyle. Sounds amazing? Well, let me explain a little bit about the GSA Advantage. With clients all around Australia and a head office located in Elsternwick, our team of very experienced professionals enable unique and exclusive property investment opportunities through wholesale investing for clients to achieve specific outcomes. Our current projects are located in Brighton, Malvern East, Kew, Glen Iris and Mont Albert North. Everyone's busy and that's a fact. But did you know for every day you have a mortgage and underperforming investments or superannuation, you're missing out on $350 every day. It all starts with a friendly phone discussion to then arrange a meeting to provide you with a clear picture on what GSA achieves for our clients, and with no charge or obligation, see where these results can apply to you. So check us out at growthsyndicatesaustralia.com. Give us a call on 1300 205 556. I'd love to have a catch-up coffee with you at your place or our office. See where GSA can improve your financial position.
Welcome back to John Coburn Oval, and it's a 3-point lead. Conditions best they've been. Now, I need to apologise to everyone, Chris, because I thought there were 5 bouts of lightning, and it was actually the camera flash. So how well am I travelling? I'm sure that everyone here, and again I apologise to everyone, I'm having a shocker, that we would have been off the ground if there were 5 bouts of lightning as quick as they were within about 3 or 4 minutes of each other. It was our magnificent work by Brad Marks Logan, the brother of Ryan Marks Logan, who's playing out there in the middle for the Bombers today. And he actually obviously was doing his job in regard to the camera flash to ensure that we could get a better picture in the dark conditions, the murky conditions, the rainy conditions. And we thank him very much for that. And again, I apologise. So it proves how well I'm travelling. Technically, it's not one of my strong points. As you know, Chris, I'm a bit of a dinosaur. But half-time on the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard, our coverage brought to us by O'Brien Real Estate as Adam Harnett. He went back in and then came back out. He must have forgotten to go to the loo, or it caught up with him quickly.
No,
sometimes it does.
He's going to do some more arm curls, mate.
You reckon?
Yeah.
He's a big boy, isn't he? 3.5.23 to 3.2.20.
Well, I ain't calling flex for nothing, mate.
It's been an interesting game of footy, hasn't it? Now, They hit the front late in the quarter. Now, in the AFL, Geelong are annihilating around the grounds, thanks to Frankie Media, annihilating West Coast. And Adam Simpson and Craig Vozzo and Trevor Nesbitt and everyone will blame COVID for that. 15-10-100 to 4-4-28. The Cats back to some of their best. And when you look at it, they'll be 4-2 and we'll all be thinking, gee, Geelong are still going all right. And they've got a lot of injuries, but that's just the way Geelong are. And Gold Coast, I heard an interview that Tony Cochrane did on the way in today on SEN, and he's an interesting cat, Tony Cochrane. He said opinions are like backsides. Opinions are like arseholes. We've all got one. I use the backsides, but he's a very interesting cat, and he said we'll be better today, and they are a lot better, and they're beating Sydney, who have got a lot of injuries. So just the AFL updates thanks to Frankie Media. But from here, it's going to be very hard to see who wins the game of footy. If conditions stay like this, it might be a better spectacle. The ball's on the ground a lot. The big-bodied midfielders, I reckon, of YCW started to have an impact, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And we spoke about how Harry Pryor and Hirutuku are getting the first hand on the ball, but YC are cleaning up around the bottoms. You got Lockie Wallace, who had a good quarter. Goonan, he really started coming into the game. So Frankston midfielders, even though they've got names going through there, really have to put a stamp on that, because that's something that Bo would have focused on at half-time and made sure that that they run defensively as well as forward. I know Pickness has been doing a fantastic job on.
He's done a great job. Yeah.
So that's one, but yeah, they've got so many different options. Hutcho hasn't had a heap of the ball, but
no.
There's another one through there. But yeah, at the moment, as you see, you've got Goonan, Mullane, and Wallace, which is an all-star cast for YCW, and looks like Sutton, Harnett. And, Pickness has started down.
Are they all the same, though, those three? I know they're experienced. Goonan's not, but the other two have played a lot of footy. Goonan's starting to play his trade in the VFL. But
well, Fox is in there now as well.
Yeah.
So they've gone with all their names too, Frankston Bombers. So Sutton, Fox and Harnett. So it's, it's a lot of them. There's a bit of feeling there
between Harnett and Mullane.
Well, they played together at Dolphins. So,
of course they did, so they know each other well. Mullane had a year at Coburg too under the hard-nosed Peter German.
Yep.
The third quarter to get underway here at John Coburn Oval. A 3-point lead to YCW. Tap down again. Hurry kick comes out towards half forward. They're into attack straight away, and it's picked up by Gregory. Very quiet in the first quarter. He couldn't take the mark, but he was good at ground level with the scoop. Kicks it in towards the forward pocket. No one can get clean possession, and it goes out of bounds. Boundary throw in once again. Millwood trying to get it, couldn't get it for the Stonecats.
I actually get a little bit worried when they have that midfield mix for Bombers, because they're all very attacking players.
Yeah.
So they've got to make sure that they run both ways this quarter.
Boundary throw in at half forward at the city end. 3-point lead to the Stonecats. They've kicked the last couple. Goals been hard to come by. Just 6 for the match. Socked forward again by Lockie Wallace, who's been very good. The ball was socked into someone's midriff and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, that slide. It's a free kick.
Free kick, is it?
Because, he slid into the ball and took the legs out of Goonan, which you're not allowed to do anymore.
Well, he's hard on the boundary, Goonan. Not much daylight between the posts, but he's only 20 to 25 metres out. He kicks into the man on the mark, and it'll be fisted through Ryan Marks Logan. His brother Brad, we mentioned on the camera. And bad mistake by Goonan, but he gives his team a 4-point lead. 3-6-24 to 3-2-20.
You don't need that in a close game, Dan.
Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. So Amalfi to inbound again, and here at Langwarren. Heads to the outer side of the ground, a high ball. No one can take the mark. At ground level, it's roved. Taken nicely on this occasion by Chapman. Quick kick up the wing. They are out if Villas can get it. Villas does well. He skids it towards centre half forward. It's picked up on this occasion by Herituku. Herituku decides to be selfless and is. Beautiful kick around the body. At the corner of his eye, he saw Pickus running into space at centre half forward. He's taken the mark. And that was coast to coast footy. Things ran their way around the outer side. Herituku, very clever, the big man.
The YC defender made the call to go and hit the ball, but left Herituku out over the back.
And Pickus has played most of his footy in defence or in a defensive role. 40 metres out to give his team the lead. Oh, he's hit the post. Hit it 3/4 of the way up. They needed the goal then. 3-3-21 to 3-6-24. Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. That could be a defining moment.
Well, they've both missed these opportunities early, so got to make the most of them this half.
Lilac in short, finds Black. Black will feed over the top now. Puts his teammate Millwood under the pump. Back to Black. Shakes the tackle. Runs the Stone Cats out of defence. Kicks towards the wing. High ball getting up in front. Herituku's having a good match, and that's a candidate for the HP and CP electrical mark of the day. Plays on quickly, the big man. Big distance, 50-metre kick. Big pack. Lilac from behind Roves. Taken by Sutton. Wants to take them on. Gets the hand pass out, but had it intercepted. High kick by the Stone Cats. Back to the middle of the ground. No one can take the mark. The ball's at ground level. Getting a hand pass out Black. Now it falls to Wallace. Wallace might have got one high. It's in the middle of the ground. Now they emerge with Sutton. Sutton gets it out now to Drake. Drake's kicked towards big Herituku. Lost control of it at ground level. Oh, Fox picked it up like it's a dry ball and then was accosted in the middle of the ground. Herituku's in there as well. It's a good contest. The umpire says, give it to me, boys.
That last forward entry, Dan, that we're talking about, that Corey Buchan managed to drag 4 or 5 people to that contest, but still Bombers didn't have the numbers on the ground. They need to push harder forward.
Schmidt the tap. Matt Harris there spinning in and out of tackles. Couldn't take it for the Bombers. Good tackle laid by Big Pryor. Got the two big ruckmen involved in the contest there. Thrown up, and Pryor will do the ruck work on this occasion. Post to Schmidt.
Oh.
Open-handed tap, rode by Harnett, high ball towards half forward at the Frankston end. Herituku does well to get a fist involved, 2-on-1, favouring the Stone Cats. Credlin, a good hand pass, Barry on the outside. They combine again, running in and out of trouble. Lambert tried to take the field on, beautiful tackling Fox. Free kick to Greeley. The umpire says, no, it's got to go back to Fox as he kicked to Sutton. Greeley, I could see it was going to be Fox's free kick on the wing. Couple of changes to be made. Greeley coming off.
Very good tackle then. This is where they've got to get the numbers right. So
the veteran Boswood coming on.
When they go forward, Frankston Bombers, if they kick to a contest, they've got to get those numbers on the ground.
He's behind the wing, Fox. He'll play on quickly. He runs away. He kicks inside 50. No mark taken. Again, ball's at ground level. Good tackling by Lilac. We can just get a couple of people to move away with their umbrellas. Thanks very much. I understand it's wet. So the Chris can see. He's the king. Tap down, open-handed slap by Schmidt. 45 metres out from goal. Trying to burst through the Bombers again. Good tackling. Big Herituku was doing the roving on that occasion and holding on for dear life was young Berringer. Throwing up once more. Schmidt wins it down. Close to the boundary. Buchan's there. Kicked 2 goals early. Wasn't able to keep it alive. He had support from Newton. And Harnett wasn't far away as well in front of the Bombers coaching dugout. Haven't kicked a goal since early in the second quarter. and they trail by 3 points on the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. Boundary throw and arriving Pryor. Wins at the ground. Loose ball. Fox a good hand pass. Looking for Newton, but chipping it away and getting a hurried kick, which will be turned over, unfortunately. Mazarak. Number of players knock at the ground for the Bombers in the middle of the ground. They've got numbers at ground level, though, the Stone Cats. Handball on the up from Mullane. Didn't find the target of Schmidt or Beringer. Back now towards Lilac. Throws it on the boot. They're out now. Mark taken by Gregory. Plays on quickly. Kicks inside 50. Truebeck couldn't take the mark. On the end of it, though, is LaFontaine. Bouncing goal. Goal of the day, Matty LaFontaine of YCW. He ran forward. Couldn't take the mark, Truebeck. He was window shopping as he roved it off the pack. 40 metres out, and that's got to be just about the goal of the day, thanks to Game Changer. Gives his team a valuable break in tough conditions. 4-6-30 to 3-3-21. He kicks his 4th goal of the season.
In the first quarter, for which Frankston Bombers sort of dominated and had in their forward 50 for a lot of the time, YC always looked dangerous on the slingshot. And you saw then, as soon as that ball come out the back, YC had numbers through and they look really dangerous. Frankston Bombers have to really arrest that and make sure that they've got those numbers right.
Gee, it's looking dark behind us too. You can see a little bit of blue sky over the netball court, but that's about it. It's looking very dark. Tap down. Hurried kick comes out of the middle again for the Bombers. And that was by the veteran in Boswood, but didn't go very far. They just can't get a lot of clean footy at the moment, the Bombers. Last 3 goals to YCW, and they've opened up in these conditions. 9 points is worth about 3 or 4 goals, I reckon. Thrown up again. Herituku's been good. Got it to Harnett. Pushed off the footy. Got it again. Taken down in a tackle, holding the ball. Free kick to go the way of the Stone Cats. Harnett saying he got a hand pass on it. Maybe he did. And the rain starts to fall again. Lightly at the moment, but starting to pick up. Mazarek elects to play on, gets a Shepherd. On the left, drives his team long, inside 50 for the Stone Cats, but waiting down Mark Logan. Accosted in a tackle, lost control of it close to the boundary. Kick came out, but waiting back again, setting a wall at half forward. He's been very good, Mazarek, for the Stone Cats. Takes the mark once more. He'll kick it on the left, drive it long towards the teeth of goal. Who's going to mark? No one can. Ball goes to ground. They're under immense pressure down there. Did's working hard, the youngster for the Bombers, but the Stone Cats, enormous pressure, keeps it inside attacking 50. Hurried kick comes out towards centre half forward. Missed by Hura of the Stone Cats. Trying to lay a tackle there was Lambert, and holding the ball. Which way is it going? It'll go to Lambert. I'm not sure that it should have been a free kick to Lambert, but anyway, goes against Villas. I thought that it was red hot, that decision in these conditions. You've got to let it go, I reckon. Anyway, Lambert will have a shot from 45 metres out.
45? I reckon he's about 50.
Do you?
I reckon he'll struggle with that unless he's got a massive hoof on it.
Well, we'll see. It's in the wet too. He veers out. He kicks it long. He kicks it high, and it'll head out towards the pocket. It's kept alive again as a shot at goal. High towards the goals by the Frankston YCW, but a good mark taken in the outer back pocket by Harris. And it is teaming again like it did in the second quarter. He gets the hand pass out. Hurried kick comes out from Boswood. Boswood kicks his team towards the wing on the outer side. They're just having trouble winning the one-on-one contest. Pryor magnificent. Gets the hand pass back. Boswood has it again. Now they've got numbers. Good kick by Pickus. He's got to play Newton on his own as they switch towards the commentary side of the ground, looking to draw a man. He turns his opponent Lambert inside out. Now he chip kicks inside 50. Kick misses the target at the bootlaces. Good hand pass comes out. Flying shot at goal, bouncing ball, misses. Harris received the hand pass from Kingsbury, and look how heavy that rain is. That is heavier than it was in the second quarter.
It's coming down.
4-6-30, 3-3-21. I'm getting wet in the van, Chris. How about you? Is your beer getting wet? The paper's getting wet.
Hang on, I better try it again.
Kick back into play. Now the beer's okay. Long kick back into play. That's nearly a big mark in the wet. Not quite taken by Lambert. Comes down to Harnett. He receives the hand pass. Throws it on the boot inside 50. The defence holding up firmly. Schmidt got the hand pass out to young Beringer. Beringer kicks quickly. Switching to the outer side of the ground. Loose ball. Picked up. Not quite. Knocked over the line by Chapman. He couldn't quite get a handle on it. Boundary throw and attacking side of the wing. On the netball side of the ground.
Could be worse, Dan. You could be up on top of Red Hill today playing footy.
22-30. Imagine how wet and cold it would be up there today. 8-point lead. 50-metre penalty. 50-metre penalty. It's a Bombers free kick. Not sure what it's for. But it's going to go to Josh Chapman, who on a beautiful day is a good kick. Who on an ordinary day is an okay kick, especially with a 50-metre penalty. He spent a year with Torquay in the Ballerine Football League over in Geelong. Good football club, beautiful amphitheatre ground, just near the beach.
That's a tough kick in these conditions.
Well, it is. It's 25 metres out with the 50-metre penalty. He kicks.
Goal.
And he goals.
Yes, that's
very
a
important goal. That'll help them. Not sure what the 50-metre penalty was for, but the Bombers and Bo Muston and Alex Harnett, who walks past me, will take that.
They needed that.
4-4-28 to 4-6-30. Margin back to 2 points. Great Syndicates Australia scoreboard. And our coverage today brought to you by O'Brien Real Estate,
Just a quick.
who are doing a great job in selling houses.
Just a quick round the grounds. Dan.
Yes, thanks to Frankie Media.
Chelsea looked like the boil over, 22 points up on Seaford. Hastings well up there, about 42 points up on Crib Point. Langwarrin, poor old Tybe only scored 4 points, 69 to 4 there, mate.
Thanks. That's in second division. Fox receives the hand pass out of the middle, kicks inside 50. Got it from his teammate Sutton, and he kicks long inside 50. Number of players scraping hard at ground level to keep it inside, attacking 50 for the Bombers. Under immense pressure is Kingsbury, who's not had a lot of the footy. The best and fairest winner in 2017, but his second and third efforts have been good at ground level. So his team with a little bit of momentum with the 50-metre penalty going Chapman's way. They're within 2 points in this second quarter. Even my binoculars are, covered in water. Hutchison tried to get the kick out, had it run down just outside defensive 50. Loose ball picked up by Sutton now. Sutton brought down in a tackle, skids it to 30 from goal. Barry's in there again. He loves the hard stuff. Taken by Berringer, tried to take them on. Stood up in a tackle 3, 4, 5 times. Might have been a bit lucky. Young Berringer, his father Mark, a superstar for YCW, wearing number 7. The Anzac Day strips today in the blue boots. Tapped down by Pryor. 40 metres from goal. Goonan a bit quieter this quarter, taken down in a tackle. Socket free, and then Haratuku a kick behind the play, marking front edge centre square. Well, the big fella from Port Melbourne, who had 80% disposal efficiency last week, thanks to Premier Data. On the left, his kick inside 50, big pack forming. Well played Kingsbury to bring it to ground. Fox couldn't take the footy. Hurry kick comes out from Barry again, just does what he does best. Throws it on the boot, looking to clear on the outer side. They've got numbers down the line again. Briggs, his kick. Couldn't find the target on that occasion. Butland at ground level. High kick by Page, the former captain for the Bombers. Kicks to half forward. Villas, front and square. Couldn't take the footy with him, just can't pick it up today. And then at ground level, it's quickly taken out of defence by LaFontaine. Socket free again towards the boundary line by, on that occasion, Steele for the YCW side. Mark Logan is in there as well. A lot of players milling around the contest. They get a hurry boot to ball. Still a 2-point lead, though, to Frankston YCW. Swooping on it, Goonan. Defensive give to LaFontaine for the Stonecats. Quick kick down the line. Garrett couldn't take the mark for the Bombers. Close to the boundary line. It's crash and bash footy on that outer side. The umpire says play on. It's close to the boundary line. And a quick kick comes out by Butland. But in the road, Sutton screws a kick about 15 metres. Almost taken on this occasion by Angwin. I thought he was tackled but not in possession. The umpire let it go, and now they're emerging with it. They'll look to bang it long. A high kick comes out from Chapman on this occasion. Kicks his team to half forward. Does well, but in the road. Good clearing kick by Barry for YCW towards the boundary line. They've got numbers. Newton tried to tap it back. Wanted support. Mullane's there, though. Good contest. Credlin sockers it forward to half forward now for YCW, who lead by 2 points. It's a frantic passage of play, and the umpire says, I will ball it up 45 from goal. Good wet weather footy. You just get it on your boot, you soccer it forward, you knock it forward, you parry it forward, you do what you can. Thrown up again, just into attack the Stonecats. 4-6-30 to 4-4-28. Great Syndicates Australia scoreboard. Goonan, the big body in the middle, tries to stand up and a tackle. Unable to. A lot of players milling around it. There'll be 15 to 18 players 40 metres out from the Stonecats goal. A hurry kick off the side of the boot by Credlin, and it wobbles out of bounds. 25 metres around from their goal at the city end.
It's just going to be like that all for the rest of the day, isn't it, mate? Just get it forward, get it forward. It's going to be really important, your body position on your opponent in front of the ball to make sure you're in the right spot.
Got to show the Anzac Day spirit. I'm sure Paul Goonan and Bo Muston will be telling their charges at three-quarter time. Remember, all our soldiers over the years, they had tougher conditions than this. Coming out, Harris does well to avoid the tackle. Handballs to Sutton. He shakes the tackle, then he loses the ball at half-back. They were nearly out then. It's picked up on this occasion, but the kick is smothered, unfortunately, for the Stone Cats, and that was Hoorah, and it's now a loose ball at centre half forward. He picks it up again. He gets a hurried boot to ball that might have found LaFontaine. Well, the ball rolled back to him. He just threw it on the boot, and LaFontaine was in the right spot. Luxor fortunate. He takes the mark at left half forward. Not far out from goal. Chase Harris and Boswood getting ready to come on. This is an important kick for LaFontaine to give his team an 8-point lead. Villas getting ready to come back on too. LaFontaine kicks through the footy. It's a good kick. It's coming back. It swings back. It's kicked the goal. Great goal. A candidate for game changer goal of the day, and they've just got the break. 2 goals to LaFontaine in this quarter. 5 for the season, and it's 5-6-36. It's been 4 goals to 1 since early in the second quarter. 4-4-28 the Bombers on the Growth Syndicate's Australia scoreboard.
Well, that's twice now LaFontaine's kicked potential goal of the day, which is going to be very important. You see how you can miss 20 metres out right in front of goal. You can miss on a little easy snap, but he's managed to drill 2 from about 40 metres out when it's probably less than 50-50 chance, and he's drilled them both.
He's been good today again, LaFontaine.
Probably hasn't had as many disposals as he normally gets, but they've been impactful, Dan.
That's exactly right. I mean, we'd look at the Premier Data stats during the week on the footy show with yourself, Cappy, and myself, and we'll find that his disposal efficiency is probably pretty good. Thrown up in the middle of the ground. Herituku manages to force it out. Socket forward again. Good play by Harnett. Just knocked it forward, missed by Greeley. In the road, the hand pass comes out from the Stone Cats, and that was Wallace, but he couldn't quite hit a target just outside defensive 50, and it'll be thrown up again. He's been tough and hard again, Lockie Wallace, one of the experienced campaigners in this side. 60 from the goal they're defending at the Frankston end. Herituku goes in after he won the ruck contest to try and lend support. Goonan. The ball fell to him. He's been tough and hard today, Luca Goonan. It's now inside the centre square. It's hacked out of midair again. That's good play by the Bombers. Getting a boot to ball was a Melfi. Makes valuable meterage in the forward pocket. 2-on-1 though. They're starting to really get the numbers around the contest, the Stone Cats. Pryor gets the hand pass out. Hurried snap by Harnett to full forward. Buchan couldn't take the mark. Off the ground. Soccer's goal! No, just misses. Left-hand side, behind.
You got excited then, Dan.
Would have been one of the goals of the day. He did well, though. He couldn't take the mark. Bounced off his chest. He recovered well. Buchan, that was his job in the goal square to try and manufacture a goal and make something out of nothing. Margin 7 points, 4-5-29, 5-6-36. Back into play go the Stone Cats. They favour the broadcast side. Herituku can't mark. At the back is Fox. Gets confronted by Steele. Throws it on the boot. Herituku! Flight! Going with the flight with the ball. Couldn't take the mark. Nearly took mark of the day. Mark of the year. Slips to Kingsbury. Gets it to Harnett, who kicks off the side of the boot. Near where the beer tent is. The Jack Wag Hill, they call it. It's 36-29. I'm almost blowing Chris's ears off as Sam Fox comes off for a rest. Back into play. Briggs drives his team long. Plenty of distance with a wet ball towards the half-back line, but a very, very strong mark taken by Drake. Drake has been solid today. He's beaten Butland, I reckon, easily. Or Marks Logan it is. Marks Logan kicks towards the wing. Big Fist comes down to the front of the pack. They've got numbers at the front. Lockie Wallace collects nicely. Kicks long towards half forward again. That could have nearly been a free kick. That could have gone Drake's way. It's socked forward once more by Steele. A foot race close to the boundary. The boundary line will beat them all. Deep into attack. Just one long kick can certainly break up the play, which it did on that occasion for YCW. 5-6-36. And the Bombers are 4-5-29 as Jason Kingsbury comes off for a rest for the Bombers, who are walking right past our van here to the dugout.
That fast break again for YC looked dangerous, Dan.
7-point lead on the Growth Syndicate's Australia scoreboard. Tap down, and it is rove magnificently by LaFontaine. Got the hand pass out to Wallace. Wallace kicks long to full forward. No one home, an easy mark taken by the Bombers. They'll deliver to the half-back line, and Newton marks. Camped on the half-back line on the broadcast or social club room side of the ground at the John Coburn Oval at Jubilee Park. Kicks down the line. Herituku makes a contest. Couldn't quite take the mark. He was third in line, the big bomber. Puts it over the boundary. His team is 7 points in arrears.
It's a big gap on a day like today, Dan.
Well, it's worth about 3 to 4 goals, I'd almost think.
Yeah.
Sam Fox walks past us, getting ready to come back on. Black has been solid as a key defender today. Tapped down again at the Rove. Eye ball comes out for the Bombers towards the wing. Harris gets up a mile, but waiting down. Good roving by Hura. He got the hand pass out to Black, who skids a kick to half forward. The Bombers have the numbers, trying to soccer it out as Gregory may have been tangled with. Greeley tried to get rid of him, I thought, illegally. Sutton, his teammate, goes in hard, but again, it's one back. Good play. The kick inside 50 by Butland. At the drop, Goonan. Handballs over the top on the lane. Couldn't get a handle on it. Obviously a very wet ball. Then he gets buffered out of it and off it. It's 40 metres out from the goal. They're defending. Good play on this occasion by Pickett to get a hurried boot. And Sutton was able to mark at half back, saving the day. 7 points behind in short once more. And the mark taken by Boswood. Boswood marks, the veteran. Kicks to the wing on the outer side. And they look to build again. This is Chase Harris taking the mark now. Around that outer side. Roost it long for the Bombers. 3-on-1 against, or 3-on-2 against. It slips to the back of the play. Boswood kept running after kicking the ball. He then got into a good position, the veteran. Solidly built individual, former captain of Frankston in the VFL. Came back after 2 games in the twos. And important on a day like today with his experience, as Brett Sutton, with plenty of mud in his face, comes off for a rest. Boundary throw-in again. Tap down once more. Greeley around the contest, hovering. Picked up by Harnett. Greeley on the outside wants to receive it. Harnett needs more support. Got worried out of it for a moment by Millwood, but in the road was Pickus. Drives his team, the Bombers, to half forward.
Free kick.
There's going to be a free kick. Which way it'll go to Buck, and he was held on to. He's kicked 2 already. He's on a fairly acute angle just near the scoreboard, the Grey Syndicates Australia scoreboard. He can cut the margin to 1 point.
That'd be a good kick because that's into the teeth of that wind that's going across the ground.
It is a bit.
But he's on fire at the moment, so anything's possible.
He's been pretty efficient, hasn't he? Buchan, shooting, kicks it low and flat and misses to the left-hand side of behind. It's an even goal margin now, 5-6-30, 6-4, 6-30. Great Syndicates Australia scoreboard. Good contest. So into play goes Lilac. The kick, though, no good. It'll be turned over. Kingsbury marks in front of our commentary position. Kingsbury kicks it low and flat. Not a great kick, but Herituku makes it a good contest. Pryor roves nicely. Chips it long to full forward. 2-on-1. Who's going to mark? Waiting down at the back, Fox. Fox is taken in a tackle. Has to swing it across the face. Not great for the Bombers. And one out of defence by Millwood. He farms a hand pass over the top and they're out now, the Bombers. They've got it around the outer side. And good play as Millwood receives the hand pass again. Gets it towards ground level. And now it's taken by Gregory. Gregory on the scoot towards half forward. Kicks beautifully. And there's a mark taken at half forward for the Stone Cats. They managed to get that ball out of the fence
Goonan on
quite
his own,
quickly.
about 15 out.
He is. If it gets to him, and it does get to him, but he drops the mark. He was all on his own. The Bombers didn't see him. Luckily, he dropped the mark. It was a wet ball. It's tapped down by Greeley. Can they clear it 30 metres out from the goal that they're defending? But the handball comes over the top again from the Stone Cats. Close to the line. Left foot snap at goal by Steele on the fly. He misses to the left-hand side. He kicked a goal early days in this match. He was pushed in the side, affected the kick, and it's a behind. Brings the margin back to 7 points.
Little bit of worrying sign just at Bombers in the last couple of minutes, like leaving Goonan 15 metres out. He was there for probably 20 seconds. Then the ball got to him, he spilled it, but who was it? 28. What's his name, Dan, again, from Mount Liza?
Oh, Lambert.
Lambert. He was very strong in the contest and pushed him out of the way and gave him another scoring opportunity.
He's been good, Lambert, hasn't he?
Yes, he's got a big body and he can play anywhere, so he's very versatile.
One of the players Paul Goonan brought across with him. Amelfi to inbound. His team 7 points down. They've only kicked 1 goal since the 1 minute mark of the second quarter. Couldn't hang on to the mark. Herituku, who's been a very good player today for the Bombers. That's why they picked him up, playing some good footy in the pink boots, and it's out of bounds at half back. There's still a chance here. They've just got to get their forward structure right. Fox and Lilac, good battle at 2 of the stars of the competition. in different ways. Fox with his skill and Lilac just with his determination and single-mindedness. There's going to be another boundary throw in. Didn't quite reach the heights that the field umpire wanted in these tough conditions. That's a bit better. Knocked down by Schmidt, looking for someone to run onto it for the Stone Cats. They do sort of get a shuffling kick forward by the big body of Barrett, but a handball comes out to Greeley, and it came from Boswood again, but again it's turned over and attacking side of the wing. Back into play goes Barrett. He kicks to half forward, but a terrific mark by Harnett. He cuts it off at centre half back, circumventing it, getting it on the second grab as he spears it wide.
He started to lift Harnett, trying to get his side up and about.
He sure is. Page, the former captain, kicks down the line through the fingers of Hura, who was looking to take a mark against the flight for his team and couldn't take the mark. So 5-7-37 to 4-6-30. 7-point lead to YCW at three-quarter time. 2 goals to 1 in that quarter, both by Matt LaFontaine. And 2 goals to Buck and the major goal kicker so far for his team today. And that is on the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. Our major sponsor, O'Brien Real Estate. And we'll have a look at all our major award winners at the end of the day. There's been some wonderful marks for HP and CP Electrical. There's also been some great goals for Game Changer. And Chris Holcomb is about to go around the grounds thanks to Frankie Photography. Holtz.
Div 2, 21 points up, Chelsea over Seaford in the fourth quarter. Hastings 44 points up on Crib Point in the fourth quarter. Langy 80 points up on Tyab. They're still in the third quarter. Summy are now 16 points up on Kringle after Kringle started fast in that first quarter. So they have the ascendancy there. In Div 1, we have, drumroll Russ, you like that movie? Vacation?
Oh, I do. Yes,
Yeah,
I do.
it's good.
It's a very good movie.
Sereno.
I like Weekend at Bernie's better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
50 points up, Sereno on Edith Vale.
Disappointing Edith Vale.
Yeah, they are. Bomb Beach and Dramana are in a ring-ding battle, mate. 8-9, 57, 8-5, 53. 4 points there into the fourth quarter.
Dramana desperate, aren't they?
Pine's doing a good job to hold with Rosebud, 7-5, 47 and 9-10, 64. So 17 points there
So
to
that'd be a
Rosebud.
big win for Dramana if they could get Bomb Beach at Bomb Beach, wouldn't it?
It would be spectacular. And then probably the other match of the round that we've got, Red Hill and Mount Eliza up on the top of the mountain. 3-8, 26 Red Hill, 4-7, 31. So 5 points up Mount Eliza in that contest.
And that's thanks to Frankie Photography. So we'll take a break and thanks to O'Brien Real Estate and also Growth Syndicates Australia, our scoreboard today. Frankston YCW, 5-7-37. And the Bombers have kicked 1 goal since the 1 minute mark of the second quarter. They're 4-6-30. YCW by 7 points. Get your game face on.
On the inside, Sophie Marr, but Isabella Khan gets the upper hand.
Just gets it past the fielder. You're in trouble. Pierce Sterling will be run out. And wonderful to see some of the greats of Australian sport here today.
It's just on exactly 2 miles. 2-time Olympic Games finalists over the 3,000 steeple.
Too wide. In the inside is Marr, but down the outside is Khan.
Over running it at ground level. Charlie Rowe again from Mount Eliza.
I want to crash the interview. Take the microphone, Peter. Thank you. So I just want to be a big fan of yours. So I'm in the federal parliament, but you play Big Bash.
Come outdoors, we're sitting here watching athletics, there's heaps of people running of all ages.
Time's through, so this first place is really important. The runner in green in Buddy.
Eddie Jerovic now has got a bit of move to do. He's got to try to get a run off the bank somewhere.
Gertz roosts that one. That is a monster of a kick for a goal. Waters in again, short. He hits this high, and he might have got enough on this to go for 6. It has. Coming into a catching position on the onside. Mills the spoon shot. He's picked the gap beautifully. What a shot that is.
Get your game face on.
So we're going to do live and loose from the Mexican night.
Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for everyone on the stage tonight.
What an outstanding tournament it's been, Paul Wilson.
Unbelievable.
For any real estate advice, feel free to drop into 188 Main Street, Mornington, or call us on 5975 7733, or feel free to contact any of our 25 plus O'Brien offices.
To grow and be recognised within community sport? Would you like to expand your business reach and branding across metropolitan Melbourne and the Mornington Peninsula? With an average reach of 50,000 people weekly across our social media accounts, an average of 100,000 monthly impressions on our digital record app, GameFace can help promote and feature your business across all of our channels. Keep in the loop with existing customers and reach out with new ones via our social media content. Here, we can place your branding on graphic design content, action photography, player interviews, even witness your branding appearing on live stream broadcasts. We can also create and curate advertisements for your business to host on your social media channel.
Very short, I say short, very brief COVID outbreak and COVID lockdown over there, but are they flat track bullies?
They need to find a way here, Bombers. Whenever YC get the ball back into their forward line, they're finding it very difficult to go forward with any sort of distinction whatsoever. So that's going to be a key to this last quarter, mate.
O'Brien Real Estate looking after this match. A 7-point lead on the Grace Syndicate Australia scoreboard for YCW. 1 goal since the 1 minute mark of the second quarter for the Bombers, and straight away they get the ball free and they kick towards half forward through Melfi. But again, the Stone Cats have been strong and tough around the contest. I thought they might have nearly been either holding the man or holding the ball to go the way of Bailey Engwin. Thrown up again, tapped down by Pryor, working hard Sutton. Sockers it free while he had a number of players clamouring around him. Didn't go very far for the Bombers, and it's on the wing on the outer side. The umpire let it go for a while. I thought he should have really thrown it up as a couple of players sling each other to the ground. One of them is the hard nut Kev Lilac on Matt Harris. Tap down again. Sutton makes his way to the clearance. Tried to burst his way through, shoved in the back. Was it going the other way? Holding the ball. That is a ridiculous decision.
Thought it was holding the man every day of the week.
Mullane with the free kick. It's been well held today. But he takes it on the outer side. Other midfielders have stepped up. He kicks towards the wing. That's an excellent mark. Reading the play nicely, Chapman. Chapman delivers in short. Not a great kick in these conditions. But luckily, the Stone Cats couldn't take it cleanly. Handball came out now to Greeley. Greeley feeds a hand pass over the top. Back to Chapman. Thrown to ground on a bear-like tackle put on him by Butland.
Yeah, no, that's a good decision.
Yeah, he's thrown to ground. A little bit too dangerous by Butland, who's tried to tackle hard today, but on that occasion tackled too hard.
No, his arms were pinned and he's thrown his head into the ground. Yeah. That's what the rule's all about, Dan.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They were lucky then, Bombers. They were out and then they stuffed it up, and now they've got a chance to pump it forward.
Yeah, they do. Josh Chapman was a Torquay. Would have been wet there today too in 2019. Kicks long to centre half forward. No one can take the mark. At the back, Schmidt overruns it and then trying to get through. The Bombers, they weren't able to. The handball comes out. It was Kingsbury who was taken to ground on a tackle. Now they'll clear out of defence again. High kick comes out from Black towards the wing on the outer side. Overrunning it, Gregory, wearing number 1 for the Stone Cats. It's socket off the ground again. Valuable meterage towards half forward, but at the back. And he's been pretty solid today, Pickus. Does well to repel the Stone Cats for the Bombers. But once again, in the van is Lampert. But he got worried out of it by Greeley. Feeds a hand pass to Kingsbury. Feeds a hand pass over the top now to Harnett. Harnett will go long. Very, very long to fall forward. Almost a mark to Fox. Off hands behind.
That was their best passage forward that they've had for probably a half, mate.
That would have been a candidate for game changer goal of the day. 4-7-31 to 5-7-37. They just can't get it past a goal advantage in favour of YCW at the moment on the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. High kick, almost a big mark to Lambert at ground level. Pryor roves well. Got the hand pass out, but leaving it behind Dids, who's disappeared out of the game a bit. Mullane just extricates himself out of 1, 2, 3, even a fourth tackle. He was held up, but he got the hand pass out wide to Wallace. Gets upended, gets his boot to ball. They've got numbers down there. Garrett couldn't take the mark. And then at the rove, Butland had the kick smothered for the Stone Cats. Garrett sockers it away, going in hard. Good play by Page, the hard nut. Garrett's there again, right in front of our commentary position. Got plenty of grass on your legs, son, but you're doing well. It'll be a boundary throw in.
Oh, you'll appreciate that pat on the back, Dan. Well done,
Yes.
mate.
The old man is the Mark Club Games record holder. Thrown back into play. Pryor. Tapped down by Barrett. Trying to burst through Mullane, trying to get his boot in the way of Sutton. Did well, got it to Harnett. Harnett off the edge of the boot, clever. And Melfi running onto it, but getting in the road. Lilac just throws it on the boot while being tackled. Gets it to half forward. Overrunning it at the back. Unfortunately, Roan couldn't get it on that occasion for his Stone Cats team. But now it's picked up. Millwood around the corner. But his kick's no good. And Harnett. It was a loose ball inside attacking 50 for YCW. They lead by a goal. Kick towards the wing, but unfortunately Buchan couldn't take it cleanly off hands and out of bounds. Roan Steele was the one that was trying to take the footy inside 50 for the Stone Cats. It will be pretty slippery. It's a 1-goal lead. They need to find a goal to get the scores level. They've kicked once since the 1 minute mark of the second quarter of the Bombers. Harnett was pushed off it. Pryor missed it. Taken now by Goonan. Hurries a kick towards the half-forward position. Butland's there. Handballs to Mullane. Taken in a tackle. Great tackle laid on him by Mark Slogan. In front of our commentary position, and he'll take the free kick. In the Team of the Year at fullback in 2019 in Division 1. Mark Slogan kicks down the line towards half-forward. Big fist from the side. Well done. He's shown a bit, this young boy, young Barrett, the number 2 ruckman. He puts it over the boundary line.
He has. The ruckmen have actually come and tied, even with the Bombers ruckman this half, I believe. So they've done a good job.
So Greeley and Garrett, 17 and 18, coming up for a rest for the Bombers. They walk past us when they go into their dugout. Mullane getting a bit of it this quarter, gets the hand pass out to Hutchison. Hutchison hurries a kick around the wing, free kick to Amelfi against Butland. It was obvious in front of our commentary position, attacking side of the wing. Still a goal lead early in the last quarter. Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. Getting plenty of distance on the kick is Amelfi towards half forward, working his way in and out of trouble. Kingsbury feeds a hand pass off to Harnett. Harnett kicks it high. Well inside 50, looking for someone to mark. Fox is there. Big fist from the side. Good play on that occasion by the Stone Cats to bring it to ground. But Fox follows it up. He wobbles a kick forward. It just followed him in the end. They couldn't clear the area despite the big punch coming from Byron Barry. And Fox just misses to the right-hand side, cuts the lead to 5 points. 4-8-32 to 5-7-37. Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. Game's on a knife's edge here at John Coburn Oval.
Handy point, don't they say, Dan? Handy point?
Handy point. So back into play. Go the Stone Cats, favouring the broadcast side or pavilion side. No one can take the mark off hands. Handball comes out towards Mullane, claiming he didn't quite have it. Worried out of it. They keep it alive, the Bombers. Good tackling laid, going nowhere in a hurry, and the umpire says, give it to me, boys. Boswood was the one that was tackled to ground. In a tackle, placed on him by Hutchison, one of the hardest nuts in the competition. Prior the tap, Mullane the Rove, having an important few minutes here for the Stone Cats. Gets it to half forward, picked up by Steele. Steele does well, hooks around the body. Trebek is there, Drake's with him, and it goes out of bounds. They've had a great battle, those two. It's been one of the highlights of the day. Deep into attack again. They do look more dangerous when they go forward, YCW, and they lead by 5 points or into attack at the Frankston end of the ground.
Well, they've taken the tag off Mullane, so Pickus has now gone to LaFontaine in the forward line, and now they're letting Mullane run it. It's showing the last couple of minutes.
In front of the Jack Wag Hill here at YCW. Free kick in the ruck contest. And the Bombers breathe a sigh of relief. Harry Pryor being good again. Will take that free kick as Brett Sutton gets ready to come back on. Kicks long down the wing in front of our commentary position. Big fist. No one can get a hand on it. Luke Black tried to get a hand on it. And then Schmidt lost control of it. He's holding on to Heratuku, who on hands and knees tries to force out a hand pass towards Villas. Villas has the field around him. They're all fighting hard like tooth and nail and cats and dogs. And the umpire says, I'll give it to me. And it was raining cats and dogs a bit earlier today. Thrown up. Getting a little hand on it, Herituku. Got another hand on it to Kingsbury. Kingsbury's taken down again. Offloaded, going nowhere for the Bombers.
That's where they've got to be a little bit better, Dan, because there was 3 or 4 YC up again to do that contest, but again, they didn't have the numbers on the ground, Bombers, to take it away.
5-point lead for YCW. Amelfi there, runs into trouble, can't get rid of it. Tap down Herituku, cleared on this occasion by Schmidt, throws it on the boot. Steele was clever trying to knock it away, gets a free kick for being held on to by Chase Harris. I'm not sure about that, but he's been okay, Steele, kicked an important goal. Drives it long into the pockets, and Trubeck is there. It just cleared Butland. He was sort of lurking on his own out the back as well, and Trubeck tried to take a slips catch, but it got away from him. It'll be thrown back into play, 15 metres around in dangerous territory as far as the Bombers are concerned.
He's dangerous, Troutbeck, isn't he?
Troutbeck, back into play, nicknamed Fish, obviously. Knocked down by Herituku, and Harnett was taken in a tackle, and he had to get rid of it in a hurry while he was being gang tackled, really, Harnett. He's got better and better the longer the game's gone on.
He probably needed that run last week.
Yeah, he did. 18 possessions last week, thanks to Premier Data. But a few metres closer to the behind post for YCW. Another tap down again. Goonan's there. Overrunning it, Mark Slogan for the Bombers. Harnett gets it down towards Sutton. Handball run down again. Close to the line. They've got to try and clear it. A hurried kick. Kick goes straight to centre half forward. Credlin couldn't take it cleanly, unfortunately, as that clearing kick from the Bombers was almost dangerous. Kingsbury, I thought, was tackled without it, but they've got numbers again. Hurried boot by Hura. Inside attacking 50 for YCW. It's a really tough contest. Trying to burst his way through young Dids is held up. Going nowhere in a hurry, and his full name is Didnen Cantonio. I knew I'd get it wrong. Free kick off the play. It'll go to Herituku. Now, they've got to try and pick out some numbers here. Margin 5 points, 37-32. Their defence is holding firm as Pryor gets ready to come on. Herituku a high ball, but underneath it should be a mark. The mark was dropped down there. Should have been taken on that occasion by Big Schmidt. Now they've got numbers at the back. Handball comes out from Briggs. He got the handball to Lilac, who misses the target on the outside. Looking for Millwood. And it'll be thrown back into play. They're in the coach's box there. Paul Goonan's up, issuing instructions to our left, and it's right in front of him where the ball's thrown back into play. Harnett, Matt Harris having a rest now. Tap down again. Boundary throw in. Trying to burst through Millwood. Couldn't get boot on ball for YCW. Well, I thought that should have been a push in the back to Page as he bent down to get the foot. He lost it. Also losing control of it is Newton. He was slammed to the ground by Millwood. Slammed to the ground by Millwood. Newton, that was a free kick every day of the week, and young Newton will take it. He delivers a kick which doesn't find a target. Getting in the road, good play by Mazarak. It was headed for his teammate, then young Dids, picked up by Wallace. Wallace just puts it on the boot and kicks it towards half forward, but getting in the road and cutting off supplies. Pickers has been one of the Bombers' best for mine and might be a candidate for the Frank Sinaras LBOG. In short now to Page. Page at half-back, the former skipper in those grand final teams. He's got the knee bandage. He'll drive it down the line. A lot of play on this side of the ground, the commentary side in this quarter, social club room side. The pack collapses. It's taken at the back by Millwood. A hurried kick. Page is there, can't get it. And also in front of Gregory. It's over the line and out of bounds.
YC seem to be doing better on the ground level at the contest. So they'll go down the line, Frankston, but YC seem to be dominating ground ball.
37-32. Barrett and Herituku do the ruck work. Herituku wins it, can't control it. Gets his teammate in there hard at ground level, trying to get the hand pass out. That's Boswood, who's got a big body. Trying to soccer it out was Barrett for the Stone Cats. Number of players milling around the contest. Player on the bottom of the pack holds it up nicely. Lambert for the Stone Cats, the former Mount Eliza player, thrown up again as a lead by 5 points. Tap down again into the face of Lachlan Wallace, but he still stands tall. He's tough. He goes in again, rugby style. He tried to just burst his way through in a standing tackle, taking the field on. He goes nowhere in a hurry.
Great contest from both sides here at the moment.
Thrown up again. Barrett the tap. Rove, but Dids' kick is partially smothered for the Bombers towards half forward. Greeley does well to lay a tackle, forcing the turnover. Sutton a hand pass on the outside of Melfi. And Melfi, a tumbling kick. Fox out the back marks. It's all work for the Bombers. They won a stoppage, and Fox waiting out the back, loitering with plenty of intent, can put his team in front.
I tell you who's been really clean below their knees has been Sutton. Sutton he's a one-touch player, even in the wet, and he got that ball going through. Fantastic play.
So Sam Fox.
Tell you that young kid is impressive, isn't he?
Yeah, good young player. Well done, son, as he walks past us.
Oh.
This to put his team in front. 40 metres out directly in front. And the reason why I keep saying the Bombers players are walking past us because they are to the dugout to the right. Fox kicks and Fox misses.
Oh, no.
I think he kicked too close to the man on the mark. It was an opportunity that goes begging for the Bombers. They won't get more gilt-edged opportunities than that. 4-9-33 to 5-7-37 as we go around the grounds, thanks to Frankie Photography.
Just quickly got an absolute ring dinger. Dramana have beaten Bon Beach by 4 points at Bon Beach. Get that in here,
And Tommy's in the background and he's on fire.
And Red Hill have beaten Mount Eliza by 3 points up on the hill.
Well, it's great to see those two teams going well. It's a tight competition and this is a tight match. Off hands. No one can take the mark. Missed by Gregory. Close to the boundary line. Gregory goes in again. The Bombers are starting to outnumber the Stone Cats in the contest. They're just attacking side of the wing at the moment. The umpire's going to ball it up just near where Paul Goonan is watching from his perch in the coach's box here at John Coburn Oval at Jubilee Park, Frankston. Tap down again, trying to burst his way through Mullane. Had a couple of cracks, he misses. It's socket out of midair again by the Stone Cats. Makes about 30 metres in the middle of the ground. Turning in and out of tackles as Chapman. He lost control of it. The crowd calling ball. Steele does well again. LaFontaine into an open goal. Kicks the goal that might have won the game. They just had to soccer it forward. He got out the back, LaFontaine. He's kicked 3 goals, and he might be the hero. A 12-point play. The Bombers miss one at one end. YCW get one from a rare foray forward, and they might nearly be home. 6-7-43 to 4-9-33. Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard, and Matty LaFontaine has had a great day. 3 of 6 is a match-winning performance, Chris Holcomb.
He's a star, isn't he? So if he's up on the wing or up midfield, he's getting plenty of possessions, but they've got him down forward line. He hasn't had as many possessions, but they've been really impactful. And that's 2 costly misses by Foxy down in that forward line for the Bombers.
Back in the middle. It's not over yet, but they just can't find a goal. So out of the centre they go again. It's driven forward by Wallace, who's been superb. One of the best on the ground. Gets it to half forward again.
Oh, no.
Here's a chance now for Steele. Steele shoots, but doesn't matter. It gets to the goal line. It's been marked. Right on the goal line. And this will be a shot at goal.
This will be game over.
To put it beyond doubt if he manages to kick the goal, Troutbeck. He read it nicely. It was a beautiful piece of play around the outer side. Steele has been very good in this second half. He runs around, opens up the angle, kicks the goal. YCW, I think, will remain undefeated. 2 wins and a draw.
Going to be hard to come back from that now.
4-9-33, 1 goal, as we keep saying, for the Bombers since the 1 minute mark of the second quarter. 2 quick goals in succession, 7-7-49 to 4-9-33. The Anzac Day special live from John Coburn Oval. Thanks to O'Brien Real Estate.
Just quickly, too, on those around the grounds, Dan.
Yes, courtesy of Frankie Media.
The Yabbies, Tyab, they've scored 8 behinds in all 3 grades today against Langwarrin.
8 behinds.
They didn't manage to put one through the big sticks, I don't believe.
That's a worry, isn't it?
Yeah.
We thought they might improve this year, but maybe the players they've picked up, just not enough talent for them, unfortunately. Price stands his ground. Going up too early was Barrett. Mistimed his leap. Handball comes out again from Villas, who's been quiet. Sutton gets a hand pass out. They're now at half forward on the end of it. This is Dids. Oh, he kicks too close to the man on the mark. It is ricocheted away by Barry again. Another one of those 1% of Smothers. Close to the goal line once again, and they've got numbers, Stone Cats. Their defence is so miserly. It does a great job. Quick kick out towards the wing. Lambert is overwhelmed. 2-on-1 against, but does very well to shun it to the boundary for YCW at half back. It'll be thrown back into play.
They've been cleaner with the ball, I think, YC in the second half when it has got wet underneath their knees.
Boundary throwing. Hurry kick comes out again by Mullane towards the wing. Good play by Butland, but then the hand pass was no good. Luckily, Newton's kick was smothered. The ricochet then falls to his teammate in Dids, who's been pretty good today on debut.
It's been great.
He has been, and they will get a free kick, and I think he'll take it. Determined to get the name right. Didnen Kentononio.
It's a good one, isn't it?
It's a beauty. He's in short, and he has to go back and kick it again, young Dids. And it's not going to be him, it's going to be Villas, left half forward. So it's 7-7-49 to 4-9-33. The margin 16 points. Big wins to Dramana over Bond Beach, and Red Hill over Mount Eliza. They'll remain undefeated, I think, the Stone Cats. High kick and they'll be on top of the table. It's going to be a free kick in the goal square. Can't possibly miss this if there's any chance. And I think Buchan, who's kicked 2, and they're both in the first quarter, has a chance to kick his 3rd and 10th for the season.
Well, we reckon there's about 5 or 6 minutes to go, Dan. So if there is, and he drills this one, 2 scores.
Yeah, well, they need to kick it. Oh, he's hit the post, the left-hand goal post. That's been the issue all day, hasn't it? They've kicked some behinds. 4-10-34 to 7-7-49. Margin 15 points. Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. So the Stone Cats will be on top if they hang on here, because they'll be the only undefeated team. 2 wins and a draw. And Bombers will be 1-2 after 3 games. So back into play. High kick to the half-back line. In the middle of the chop out there is Black. Couldn't take the mark, and then the ball follows him, and he feeds a hand pass out, which is turned over. Haynett has been terrific today for the Bombers. Kicks it high inside 50. No mark taken. They've got numbers at the back. Briggs is there. Black's cousin kicks it back to Big Schmidt in the middle of the pack. Nearly brings the mark to ground, doesn't. And then his teammate tries to take it away in the contest and is carried to ground in a tackle.
I think Rosebud will still be on top, mate. I think they.
Oh, of course, Rosebud.
Yes,
yep. Rosebud's the other one, isn't it? Sorry about to Nick Jewell. Taken out of the contest again, Dids, but it's intercepted and kicked around the boundary by YCW. But
Lambert.
On this occasion, it goes out of bounds on the full Lambert, off the side of the boot.
Jeez, isn't he a good pickup for YC?
Very good.
You just play him anywhere.
I mean, he's an unsung pickup, isn't he? We haven't really talked much about him, and he's just sort of come into their side. I remember seeing him a couple of years ago on that early match before Frankston Dolphins played, and thought, geez, a good player.
Well, he's actually gone to Harnett, and he's sort of limited what Harnett's been able to do.
Pickus, a high kick inside 50. He's been one of the Bombers' best today. At the drop, no one can get a clean possession. And eventually it's cleared by Goonan. Kicks to the wing, but it's turned over again. Taken by young Chase Harris. Chase Harris will open up the field. He finds his teammate Chapman, who's a beautiful kick on a dry day. It's a bit dry now. Kicks long inside 50. No mark taken. At the fall is Barry. He taps it back, and then they clear it out of defence again, looking for Mazarek to run onto it, but it goes out of bounds. And Matt Harris is saying, what about delivery? I don't think so on a day like today, Matt. I think you've got to have common sense. It was thrown on the boot.
They've been less inclined to call that deliberate today.
15-point lead. Great Syndicates Australia scoreboard. 2 goals in a minute have won the game after Sam Fox missed a gettable shot to put his team in front. And then they went down the other end, coast to coast. Matt LaFontaine got 1 and Matt Trebek got the other. Trebek's kicked 2 to give him 9 for the season. And free kick to Matt Harris. Handballs on the outside to Sutton. Gets shoved, which forces the kick to go out of bounds on the full.
Oh. Didn't need that. Time is now running out for the Bombers.
It's actually almost the best time of the day in regard to the weather. It's cleared up a bit. The ground's a bit wet now, and you'll see the footy ground start to get a bit chopped up, but that's what we love. It's great to have footy back. People have enjoyed themselves today. It's been a good crowd. And there'll be a good crowd in the social club rooms tonight, especially for YCW, because they're going to post their second win. Kick towards the wing, bounces off Pryor's chest, couldn't hang on to it. Quick kick through traffic again by the Stone Cats. The mark wasn't taken by Steele at ground level. Picked up at the back by Chapman. Spiral punts the Bombers back inside 50. Holding his ground, Barry will be paid the mark. He's been solid again, Byron Barry. He delivers poorly. Pickus dropped the mark as he tried to square it up and tried to switch it. Then Pickus goes in very, very hard to try and knock it out and couldn't. You can understand why he dropped it. The ball's like a cake of soap now. It's been on the ground a lot. It's been very wet since quarter time.
Did well to recover.
Yeah, he did. 15-point advantage to the Stone Cats. Pryor gets a decent punch on that one. Extricating himself and getting a hurried boot to ball with Goonan. Makes about 15 metres for the Stone Cats. Front edge centre square. Loose ball. Who's there to pick it up? Lambert allows Butland through. Butland to Daisy, cutting little kick out wide now to Mazarak. Mazarak is taken in a tackle. He's overhauled in a tackle. It's got to be holding the ball. And that is an excellent tackle. Got dragged down from behind by Ryan Marks Logan, and he's been pretty good as he kicks to Brett Sutton, who takes the mark behind the wing. Kicked the first goal of the match. Kicked 1 goal since early in the second quarter. That's been their issue. He kicks into the middle of the ground. 1 goal late they've kicked. Punching ball over the back. Cleaned up at the back. They've got numbers everywhere. Comes out Black towards Steele, who's been superb. Chase Harris got a decent punch on it. Garrett comes in and does the spillage. Handballs it in front of him. Gets it away now to Dids. Taken now on this occasion to Kingsbury. Out of 1 tackle, not out of the second. Should be a free kick to England.
Oh, he's giving him a bit of curry as well.
Yeah. Forget about it, YCW. Look at the scoreboard. You're 15 points up in the sunshine on the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard. So a free kick will go the way of Hura. Another one who's been pretty solid today across half back.
They've had an even spread today, boys.
Yeah,
it's
they
hard
have.
to pick a really, really good player.
Flat ball. We need to find a best on ground for Franks and RSL. Harnett just throws it on the boot as soon as he marks. Kicks to half forward. No mark taken. Loose ball. Back to Hura again. Mops up. Gets the hand pass out on the outside to Briggs. And Briggs finds his teammate in Engwin. Engwin kicks towards the wing. Getting up Steele. Third in line. Hasn't he been good since half time in the iridescent green boots? Takes a good mark. Kick to goal as well. Roan Steele. In short now to Wallace. One of the veterans in this team takes the mark just behind the wing in front of our caravan here at John Coburn Oval. In short again. Goonan couldn't take the mark. He's at ground level. He's gobbled up in a Harris tackle, but he gets out of it. Extricates himself well, throws it on the boot, and then Pickus couldn't quite hang on to the mark close to the boundary, well inside 50. 49 to 34 near the Jack Wag Hill. They're starting to fire up now, the people on the Jack Wag Hill. Is he a real person? It'll be thrown back into play. It's a great name, isn't it?
Jack Wag.
Jack Wag. It's a ripper. I reckon there was a free kick to Maloney. He was held as he was trying to make his way to that particular stoppage. And then a good tackle laid by Sutton ensures that Malane goes nowhere in a hurry.
That's a good porno name, Jack Wag.
It's a great porno name. I wouldn't know really what a good porno name is because I don't watch them. It's tapped down again. Out of defence goes Dids. He floats a kick towards the half-back line on the outer side, a foot race. There's Byron Barry again. He's under pressure from Harris. He has to dance back and avoid him and was very clever, showing all those years of playing a lot of footy, and finds a teammate taking the mark on the outer wing.
I think Dids has nearly been Frankson's best today, mate.
And this is Credlin in short. Handball back to Credlin. He went without it, held up in a tackle, placed on him by Chapman. The umpire said, give it to me, boys.
Oh, no.
It was from Millwood. It was a very low hand pass. He'll get a free kick. He's a bit lucky, Credlin.
Oh, no, high.
50 metres.
Free kick.
In the goal square, is it?
Yeah.
Oh. And there's the siren, and YCW remain undefeated with Rosebud, but 2 points behind them after a draw last week. And Butland will get a shot at goal in the goal square, or will it be Schmidt? He kicks the goal, and that increases the lead to 21 points. And a very disappointed coach, Bo Muston, walks away. It was a game that got away in the end because they did lead by 10 points at one stage early in the second quarter. Kicked one more goal after that. Missed some gettable shots of the Bombers. But YCW were able to take advantage of it. And a good win in the end. Thoroughly deserved win. 8-7-55 have defeated the Bombers 4-10-34. 15 scoring shots to 14. They've won by 21 points. Matt LaFontaine was outstanding up forward with 3. And Troutbeck kicked 2, while for their opponents, as Harnett and Kyle Hutchison hug each other in the middle of the ground. 2 goals to Corey Buchan to give him 9 for the season. But Chris Holcomb, 21-point win on the Growth Syndicates Australia scoreboard, and well done to YCW in pretty tough conditions.
I think it was thoroughly deserved from YC. I think looked early that Frankston were going to have the ascendancy in the air with Hiratuku, Buchan and Pryor all looking to stamp their authority early. But the ground play of YCW, and they're all over the ground, clean up underneath when the ball was on the ground, sort of shone through. I thought that their performance was really even. You can go through and you can say, rightio, in the second quarter, Goonan was fantastic. In the third quarter, Lockie Wallace really come into it. I thought it was Lambert. I thought he did a great job on Harnett when he went onto him, because he also won his own ball as well as stifled him a little bit. I thought.
Well, that's what Pickus was doing to Mullane early, wasn't he?
Well, then they took Pickus off Mullane to put him on LaFontaine in the forward line. And that freed up Mullane. And Mullane, that was the only time that he really looked like he was influential when it started that last quarter.
Yes.
So that was a move that Bo had and rolled the dice with. But still, Laffa was able to kick a goal in that last quarter. I thought probably, in terms of influential, Laffa's 3 goals were at really, really telling times, and they were really good goals. It was something that Frankston Bombers could not do after quarter time. They could not put him between the sticks.
Fox was their man to do that. He missed a great shot over his head, and then he missed the gettable shot at goal.
Yeah, and
when he got out the back, it was a terrific piece of play where they managed to draw or suck up the YCW defenders up the ground, and he got out the back.
Yeah.
And it was a good piece of play. I mean, you've got a bit of luck in these conditions. And then, of course, the 12-point play, they've socketed it forward, and then he got out the back, LaFontaine, and was able to make sure of it.
Yeah, no, and that was the story for the day. After that, they got that little goal break and they couldn't peg it back. I think Troutback is a really good player. I hadn't seen him play live before.
No.
He draws a really good defender.
And Butland's a workhorse, isn't he?
Yeah, well, YC haven't had a really top-line forward sort of tall that they can sort of single out and take on. Where
even when they won all the premierships?
No, well, they sort of spread a lot of their goals. They didn't have an out-and-out stand-out forward. They just sort of spread it through evenly. Their midfield kicked a lot of goals.
And they had a quality ruckman, didn't they?
They did indeed. But Troutback looked really good up forward. Look, I like Matty LaFontaine anywhere, but obviously the coach is looking to put him forward, and he showed why he's going to put him forward, because he was so influential.
Now, we've got a presentation here.
I know.
The Anzac Day medal.
No one wants to listen to Schneids, do they?
Oh, I think Schneids would love them to listen to him. He's doing his job as the president of the club.
He's probably recording it. He wants to listen back to it. The umpires. The umpire's got a medal as well. There's more medals than a bloody Anzac Day march out there.
Oh, it needs to happen, I think.
Oh, we love a medal.
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, we can hear you, Andrew.
LaFontaine, yeah.
Yes. Well, we're going to look at our best on ground thanks to Frankston RSL, where you could have watched the game today.
That's a rude haircut. That is a rude haircut, Laffa.
Oh, I don't mind it.
Oh, it's rubbish. It's what all the kids are doing these days. It's all business on
Bailey
the sides
Smith.
and party down the back.
Yeah.
But no, it was just influential.
Having trouble with the mics.
I've seen him play games where he's had 30, 35, but that really turned the game, his 3. Oh, this was the netball.
Yeah.
Well done. Good stuff.
It's a great award.
On ground for Frankston Bombers, as adjudged by Paul Goonan, the YCW coach, is Josh Chapman.
Chappy.
I thought he played pretty well.
He tried hard all day.
Yeah.
But I would have given it to the young kid.
Yes.
He was
Dids.
Dids, he was really impressive. He was very clean. And when
Frankston YCW, Matthew LaFontaine.
Yeah, Laffa again. Yeah.
So he's won 2 medals. He's won the medal for best on ground.
The umpires.
The umpires medal, and he's won
the
coaches medal.
Yeah. But no, look.
So Bo Muston's given LaFontaine best on ground for YCW, and Paul Goonan's given best on ground for Bombers to Chapman.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Which I probably would have gone the young kid. I reckon Dids was fantastic today. What I found really impressive about him, he was really composed and he was really clean with his possessions, but he was also hard over the ball. So there wasn't a contest there that he didn't sort of shirk out of, and he just put his head over the melon. I thought he played really well today, the young kid.
Yeah, Didmen Cantonio. That's the long version of the surname. I think there are 16 letters in that surname, but he's vice-captain of the Stingrays. I think it's a name we're going to have to get to know.
Well, I reckon.
And maybe even at the higher level, he's not playing for the Stingrays like everyone isn't for about a month. I don't quite understand all that, but I think it has a lot to do with the private schools are back playing footy.
Yeah,
no, playing today, but It's a bit ridiculous, but he's vice-captain, so he has a promising future in front of him. Came from the Frankston Dolphins, made his debut today, and they might have found one near the Bombers, and that's important for them.
I don't think you need to say his name ever. I think you just need to come up with an abbreviation. Didsy's in the lead so far.
I think so.
You can't go reeling out that name. It's ridiculous.
Didman.
We always called Dippy Medico Dipper.
Yeah, we did.
No one called him Dippy. Yeah. Oh, I did a couple of
the
times.
ABC did. He used to do it at the ABC. Not that I was calling then. It was well past my time.
Yeah, that's more.
He was well before my time, I should say. Now, what about the other awards?
Yes.
Now, the goal of the day, the game changer goal of the day. There are a few of them. I reckon.
It's LaFontaine.
You think so?
Yeah, and I think it was LaFontaine down here on the run from about 45
at the city end.
out.
Yeah, it was a beautiful goal, wasn't it?
He had a couple that he could have picked from, but I reckon that one there was, I reckon that was a cracker.
Mark of the day, HP and CP Electrical.
Was it Corey Buchan down this end early?
Yes, yeah, it was a good strong mark in the middle of the pack, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
He had his
Buchan.
eyes on the footy.
If you're a two,
it's fantastic.
Had taken that mark, and he ran back with the flight, and we got cleaned up.
Oh yes,
but I think Corey.
But he got up, the big man, didn't he?
Oh, he just bounced off.
He did.
He spends a bit of time in the gym, the big fella.
And what about the Frankston RSL best on ground?
Yeah, LaFontaine. You could have thrown a blanket over and any of those YC guys, but they were sort of in and out of it all day.
Yes.
Like Goonan's second quarter was magic, and what else we do? Mullane when he just got off the tag, Wallace
in the
all
last
day.
Quarter,
The back line was really even spread, so there wasn't anything.
I mean, Barry and Lilac don't do much wrong, do they? They're just good defensive defenders, aren't they? They just play their roles, and they've been doing it forever.
Yeah, they don't.
Haven't they? And the thing is, even in my short time watching this competition, and you could tell me a lot more about it, is that I don't think the opposition have worked out how to really dominate against them unless you put a very tall forward on Lilac, but he still finds a way with his, I suppose, experience and canniness, etc., to be able to at least break even. And I mean, Barry, well, he's just a fine defender.
So with YC, and it's hard because if you're a coach coaching against YC, what you've got to do is you've got to have your setup right behind the ball, because Byron Barry's like having a coach on the field. Every time you get the ball and release out of your back line, they're set up well, ready to go. And you saw today how many times they rebounded and kept giving them repeat inside 50 entries due to the fact that they were set up perfectly behind the ball. So you got to make sure that your decision makers coming out of the back line and making the right decision, but you also got to make sure that your numbers are right and that they're stationed in the right positions behind the play. And that's what YC do so well. And you see, they score one goal after the first minute mark of the second quarter.
Well, they've got 5 or 6 defenders that are very similar in height and play a similar role. I mean, Angwin spent some time down there.
Yep.
Hura was down there. Mazarak is more like a defensive midfielder. We talked about Lambert, how tall he is. Black's a good player. Briggs, his cousin. They all are very similar. They seem to have a small defender.
Yep.
But they don't have a lot of tall defenders. They're all about the same, aren't they?
So the key to that is their ball movement in. So if you get a really quick ball movement in, Foxy's going to beat Kev Lilac 9 times out of 10. But because they're set up so well behind the ball, the motion of the ball slow through, and you don't get many fast breaks going in. So the mismatch that you have can't be exposed. And even if you've got a tall there, if they're slowed up the play going through and it's not a fast break and they're set up well, then they've got a chance to get 2 or 3 up to the contest to take it to ground against a Hiratuku or a Corey Barkin, which is what you saw today. And they scored 1 goal in 3 quarters of football.
Yeah, it was a good performance. What about the Bombers? I mean, 1 and 2 now. How are they looking?
I wouldn't be too
You're not too
disappointed
worried?
with that. Look, that was a really good effort. I thought that they played their attitude was really, really good.
They had a crack all day, didn't
they had a crack all day, and I just think that they need to clean up a few things with their ball movement going into the forward line. A couple of runs for their midfielders who hadn't played much footy is going to be okay, and I think they're going to be better on a dry day than they are on a wet day. So,
but what if it's a wet winter?
Yeah, that's fine. Look, I think they'll win games in the wet as well, but I think that the dry would probably suit them better than the wet. And look, you're only early. You've played Mount Eliza, who are going to be thereabouts. You've got YC, who's going to be thereabouts. So you've dropped 2 of those games where they're 50-50 games as is. So you're just going to make them back up at the end of the year.
Now, checking around the grounds for Frankie Photography before we go, Red Hill a great win, Dramana a great win. I mean, we'll talk more about it on the Footy Show on Wednesday.
We will.
Great character by those 2 sides. I mean, Red Hill have indicated they're going to be pretty hard to beat, especially up on the hill in Dramana. Well, that was a wonderful win over a good side in Bomb Beach. You'll be disappointed with that because I think we're expecting Bomb Beach to dominate, and maybe they thought they were going to dominate today. And also, the wet conditions may not have suited them because they look like they're a very skillful side. Although someone like David Armitage, I think he would have eaten the wet conditions for breakfast today.
I reckon, look, I think, Dan, we've got that many sides, as we saw today, that are very, very even. And, like, there might be an advantage in skill in a couple of areas, but it's going to come down to above the shoulders. I reckon you need to come to every game of Division 1 and you need to be switched right on for 100 minutes or you're going to be exposed. So, like Bomb Beach today, Dramana hadn't, there was 0-2, and we're going, oh, there's going to be 0-3, but they're still a good side. They've knocked them off.
Yes, they have.
So mentally, that's a fantastic job by Dramana. Rosebud obviously Pines, Bombers YC, and Sereno obviously got the better of Edith Vale. But all those 50-50 games, you need to be 100% switched on, 100 minutes, or you're going to get found out.
Only a couple of goals after quarter time for Red Hill, so the defence got on top from Rosebud, and I'm sure Nick would have been disappointed because he's priding his team on having the ability. They've kicked, 17 goals. Their defence has had 17 goals kicked against them in 3 games. So Nick Jewell will be priding his team on being a very good defensive side, hard to score against. And they also kicked a big score again today. So they're on top of the table. We're probably a bit surprised by that. But then again, we're surprised by Rye, who's got a match getting underway very, very soon under lights. And then, of course, a big match tomorrow between Devon Meadows and Mornington. And I hope there's a good crowd there too. And there will be, I think, a lot of MPNFL supporters there to see Mornington and Devon Meadows, to see how Devon are improving, to see how Brett Delidio goes, and also to see how Jackson Calder goes, because he's got 18 in 3 games and having a very good start to the year. So it's great footy everywhere, and we'll bring it all to you on our footy show on Wednesday. We thank our major sponsor, O'Brien Real Estate, our scoreboard sponsor today, Group Syndicates Australia.
I have to apologise to Tyab too. They did kick a goal.
They did kick a goal. So they got 1 goal. They got beaten by 105 points today by Langwarren.
Yeah.
And Somerville got over the line against Coringal. That was a good result for them in the end, although I still reckon they're battling a bit, but they haven't got all their good players in. But they've just got to try and chalk up wins against those sides below them and put themselves in contention and maybe make a run late in the season like they did last year.
Yeah. Now, look, it all gears up to being a really good final series because you haven't got these standouts. And like we said, there's probably 6 or 7 sides in Div 1 that can beat anyone on the day, which makes for an unreal final series. And same as Div 2, there's no real... Langy seem to be the standout, but underneath them, you look like anyone can beat anyone. And that's how you want your footy leagues to run. You want to have it competitive week in, week out, and have that unknown about it.
Well, you certainly do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Great to have you with us. And Chris Holcomb brought to us today by Telstra Business Centre.
Is that a personal
South
sponsor
Melbourne?
of mine?
That is a personal sponsor of yours. I'm not sure when there'll be a check or whether it'll go in your
my
account,
zero
your normal account. Yes. We'll have a chat to you about that anyway. We thank our naming rights sponsor, O'Brien Real Estate, scoreboard sponsor, Growth Syndicates Australia, Tim and the team. You can increase your wealth and reduce your debt at the same time. So get hold of Tim and the team at Growth Syndicates Australia. Our goal of the day brought to us by Game Changer. If you've got an issue with your mental health, and I've had it all week, and I thank everyone for all their support on the Mornington Peninsula, and you just got to keep talking, everyone, and that'll certainly help your cause and keep you going, and be active. Go out and have a run, go out and have a walk, do things that'll take your mind off tough times. I know it's easier said than done, but that's what Game Changer are there for, a big part of what GameFace does. Mark of the day, HP and CP Electrical Australia and Franks and RSL, where you get to see a game from GameFace every week on the big screen, and Frankie Photography as well. Good on you, Tom. Great job today. We thank young Brad as well, Brad Mark Slogan, the younger brother of Ryan Mark Slogan, who played today for the Frankston Bombers. 21-point win, 8-7-55 to YCW. They've beaten the Bombers 4-10-34, and tomorrow on GameFace, I'm going back to my old hunting ground where I played some footy very badly. Ivanhoe for the Yarra Junior Football League.
Nice. And
the Ivanhoe under-16 ones are playing Ashburton Reds, who I saw last week, and saw a very good football team in action for under-16 against Fitzroy. And then we're also, Sav Rocker is coaching the seconds at Ivanhoe up against Warrandyte. So that's our fare tomorrow. We'll also have football at Bulleen and McLeod. So big day of Yarra Junior footy tomorrow. Enjoy your footy, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and always get your game face on.